What's going on, everyone? So, a few weeks ago, I made a post on YouTube in the community tab that I had just purchased my eighth set of Tangem wallets or my Tangem cards. This is about half of them. I think this is about 8 cards right here. So I have another, 10 to 12 cards that make up wallets. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, absolutely, well, I'm not going to say absolutely, but a lot of people probably don't need 8 Tangem wallets or 8 cold wallets at all. But there might be a reason why you would want more than one, which we can get into, and also show you why I currently have 8 Tangem wallets. That said, just so everyone is aware, until November 7th, Tangem is having a sale right now. Let's get over there. If you use a link in the description of this live stream, that sale is going to get you buy one. You get buy one for full price, and you get the second one for 60% off. So the 50% off is already applied on the website, and then my link's already applied as well. So that gets you the additional 10% off. And all you have to do to get this deal is just click this one that says second set for 50% off. And then you can choose, the different cards that you want. So you can have, different designs. Now, the thing about this deal that I really like is you're getting 6 Tangem cards, and you only need 2 cards to set up one wallet in the app. And you can manage as many wallets as you want in the Tangem app. So with 6 cards, you're technically getting 3 wallets for the price of what one wallet costs from most brands. So yeah, it's a good deal. One of their best deals actually that I've ever seen in the last few years. Another thing I'll mention is the Tangem ring, which I'm wearing right now. That comes with 2 cards. That's 25% off using the link in the description if you're interested in getting that. And of course, this is a live Q&A as well, so make sure you're dropping any questions, comments, concerns in the chat, and I will do my best to answer all of them. If the chat doesn't get too crazy like it has in the past. That said, so yeah, the reason why I personally own 8 Tangem wallets, I'll say that I don't necessarily use them all at the same time. I have about 4 set up that I use for different purposes. The reason I have 8 is because I just like to collect stuff. This is what I do for a living. I test and review hardware wallets, but I do like just owning different Tangem wallets and messing around with them in the app. I like the different designs that they offer. Most of mine are the stealth editions. So I have a few stealth editions, which is probably my favorite design because it's the most discreet design. But yeah, the reason I have 8 is just because I kind of like having a lot of wallets and messing around with them. Now, like I said, most people probably don't need 8 cold wallets. But recently, if we look at like Brandon LaRoque, who just lost, he was buying XRP for the last 8 years. And he just lost, it was like $3.1 million worth of XRP. Now that happened for a number of reasons, but the one simple thing he could have done, at least to spread out his risk, is he could have had that crypto spread across multiple cold wallet devices. But since he didn't, he lost all of his crypto, and that really is a risk of not diversifying your crypto. Now, the most common question I get when it comes to diversifying your crypto is, well, how much crypto should I own before I consider diversifying it? That's really, up to you. I can't tell you what's considered a lot of crypto, because what's considered a lot of crypto for me might not be a lot of crypto for you. So yeah, the simple question that I ask is like, would I be upset if I lost this amount of crypto, whether that's, $1,000, $5,000? If you would be upset, then it might be worth investing, $97 to get a couple extra wallets that you can spread your risk over. And like in my live stream yesterday, the main risk in crypto right now, and probably has been for a long time, is not like hackers, like a hacker getting into your cold wallet because the cold wallet isn't secure. Most wallets on the market today do a great job of securing the keys used to access your crypto. The real threat is user error. we're all humans. We all make mistakes, especially in crypto. It's a super complicated, complex space. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. There's so many uh, little different things just depending on what you're doing in the space. So I think spreading out your risk is especially important in crypto because you could just be tired one day, or you could be really excited because something's going on in the market, and you could slip up and make a mistake. And that's usually what happens with most people. It's usually an urgency thing or like a fear thing, and that's when they slip up. So by just spreading your crypto out across multiple wallets, you can instantly reduce your risk. And that's why you might want to consider getting multiple cold wallets. How many do you need? Again, that's really up to you. But with Tangem, it's probably the easiest way to diversify your crypto, because with most cold wallets, you have to plug them in your computer. You can only have one connected at a time, or whatever it may be. With Tangem, you can add as many sets of cards to the app as you want. And all you have to do to switch between your cards is just swipe across the top of the screen where your portfolio total is listed. And you can switch between your wallets. You can view the different portfolios. You can get access to all the different receiving addresses. Of course, you'll always need the individual card sets to transact. But when it comes to diversifying your crypto, Tangem is by far, in my experience, after testing and reviewing more than 30 different cold wallets from all the different brands, Tangem is by far the most convenient when it comes to diversifying your crypto across multiple wallets. Another cool thing about Tangem is you can set up a 12 or 24 word seed phrase if you want to. You can import a passphrase if you want to, which is like a hidden wallet or a 25th word seed phrase. But you could also set it up without a seed phrase if a seed phrase is something that you don't want to mess with or anything like that. So if you were to buy like this deal that's going on right now, for example, you got 6 cards, you could set up 2 sets of cards with a seed phrase, and then maybe you want 1 set seedless. That's really up to you. Again, it just depends how you want to do it. But even if you own 1 Tangem wallet right now, or 1 cold wallet, whatever it may be, Ledger, Trezor, 1Key, I think this is a good opportunity to diversify your crypto. And I think there are so many examples in the space right now of people losing just insanely large amounts of money that most people never even see in their lifetime, and they're losing it really because they're not diversifying their funds. I mean, a lot of them, they don't even use a cold wallet, but on top of that, they're not even diversifying their crypto across multiple wallets. They have $400,000, which is their whole portfolio, sitting in a single wallet. That's just a massive risk to take on, especially if you have a lot of your money in the crypto. Now, hopefully, you don't have too much that's going to like put you at risk, like you won't be able to afford next month's rent or groceries or something like that if you lose it. But nonetheless, you should always diversify your crypto just to reduce your risk. So again, the link to this deal is in the description of the live stream. If you're on LinkedIn, I posted it in the comments sections. If you're on Twitter, I haven't posted it there yet. I'll have to go do that here in a bit. But what else was I going to say? Yeah, I guess that's about it for that. But yeah, and as far as like, you could also gift the extra cards to people if you know someone who's just getting into crypto. It's a good opportunity to get them set up with a cold wallet. Another thing a lot of people don't know is you can manage your Tangem wallets on multiple phones if you want to. Like if you're trying to share, your wallet with your significant other or your kids or whatever it may be, you can actually, once you set up your Tangem wallet on one phone, all you have to do to add it to a new phone. Actually, I could probably show you how to add a Tangem wallet to a new phone. Let me switch my camera here. Let's go. So this is one of my sample Tangem wallets that I use for the live streams. But this wallet's already set up. I've got the card right here. So if you were to buy like another set of cards or even in your current set of cards, to add it to a new phone, whether you lose your phone or again, you have someone else that you want to share your Tangem wallet with, all you have to do on the new phone is download the Tangem app. And then it's going to say scan card. And then all you do is scan your card and enter the access code. I guess I can't really show you that right here because this wallet's already set up. But that's how you do it. You just download the app, scan any one of your cards that's already set up, enter your access code, and you're good to go. Now, what I can show you though, if you're getting additional sets of Tangem cards so that you can diversify your crypto, this is how you would do it. You just go to settings, and then you go to add new wallet, and then it asks you to scan your wallet, and then you just scan. You start, you scan your new card, and then it's going to take you through the exact same setup process that you went through when you set up your first set of cards. So it's really simple. And once you do that, all the wallets will be listed right here. You can also rename your wallet. Like if you want to allocate wallets to maybe certain cryptos, like I can name this one. This is my Bitcoin wallet. That way I know that wallet is Bitcoin. So yeah, it makes it super easy. And that's kind of what I'm saying. And then I only have one wallet set up on this phone, but if I had two, all you do to switch wallets is just swipe left or right on the top of the screen. Also, a lot of people, a common question I get is, how do I know if my Tangem wallet has a seed phrase or not? Which is concerning if you don't know that, I'm not going to lie. But if you, for some reason, forgot if you set up a seed phrase or not, you can see right here, this card is set up with a seed phrase and it notifies you right here at the top. And you can also see that there's 2 cards attached to this specific wallet. So yeah, pretty simple. Also, if you haven't set up a Tangem wallet before, haven't transferred crypto to a Tangem wallet, or transferred crypto from your Tangem wallet back to an exchange, if you're trying to sell or something like that, I have a user guide in the description as well that shows you exactly how to set up your Tangem wallet step by step using a seed phrase. It also works if you're not using a seed phrase. And in that video, I also show you how to transfer crypto from any crypto exchange to your wallet, and then how to send it back to your crypto exchange if for some reason you need to do that. So yeah, this Tangem is by far the easiest wallet to use on the market. Just ask anyone who's used it. They'll tell you the exact same thing. It's the only wallet that I've had people that are over 70 comment on the channel and say that they enjoy using the wallet. It's also the only wallet that I see parents comment on that they get for their kids to teach them about self-custody and cold storage. So yeah, that's just, I thought that was pretty cool. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's go to the chat right quick, answer some questions. David says, hi, are you on? We are now. I was a few minutes late. My apologies. I feel like I'm always late. I always set these things like way earlier than I should because I'm just so eager to start. And then I get going on something else and then I'm like 3 minutes late. So definitely something I need to work on. Crypto Roger said, Coach JV said not to store crypto on Tangem and other wallets. I don't care what he says, but thought I'd share what he said. So Crypto Roger, I know who Coach JV is, and I highly doubt he said that. That was probably a deep fake or an AI video that was made. There's a scam going around that says, stop using cold wallets and get your crypto onto Web3 or onto a Web3 wallet. That is a complete scam. Any social media profile who's telling you to do that is trying to scam you. So just be aware of that. That is not true. And I don't think Coach JV would say that. Coach JV, if you watch his actual channel and his real videos, he does recommend using cold wallets. I don't know what cold wallet he recommends. I don't really care. As long as you're using a cold wallet. In today's world, that is the most secure way currently and most convenient way to protect your crypto. So. Crypto Roger also said, I plan to buy the 3-pack, but my current phone is not NFC, so I'm on the fence until I buy another phone. Yeah, I mean, if you plan on getting another phone soon, I mean, this deal is still a good option. That said, even if you don't take advantage of the buy one, get one 60% off, that same link or the link on any of my videos where I mentioned Tangem will get you 10% off year round. So you'll always get some kind of discount. So there's no like urgency to rush and get this deal if you don't want to. This specific deal, the buy one, get one 60% off, is running until November 7th. So you still also have some time to consider it. And, if you decide it's right for you, then there you go. Nicholas said, I just got 2 family packs. Awesome. Nicholas, I'm curious how you're going to use those cards. Do you plan on sharing them with someone? Are you going to diversify your crypto? I'm definitely curious to learn how you plan on utilizing them. Crypto Roger said, is a second set for a second wallet? Okay, remember, when you're looking at the Tangem cards, you can look at it in sets, but just look at the total card number. When you set up a Tangem wallet, you only need 2 cards. The Tangem app requires 2 cards to set up one wallet. So 2 cards equals 1 seed phrase. So this buy one, get one 60% off deal, you get 6 cards, which means you can set up 3 separate wallets if you want to, or you could set up 2 wallets. It's really up to you. But if you're using a seed phrase, you may as well just have 3 separate seed phrases so that you can diversify your crypto. It doesn't matter what cards you use before you set them up. You can mix them all together from all the different packs. It doesn't matter. As long as you have 2 cards per set in the app, it'll let you create the wallet. So Nicholas says, I just got locked out of my 3rd card. I guess I mixed up the security code. Anything I could do to unlock it? Yeah, so after you set up your Tangem wallets, if you change your access code or anything, it's only changed on whatever card you changed it on. Because when you initially set up Tangem, it just applies the access code that you created to all the cards in your set. But if you go and change it later on after setup, it only applies to that one card that you changed it for. So depending how you have it set up, you should be able to go into the app, into settings, select the wallet, then select manage device. I think that's where you go. And then actually, let's take a look real quick. Let's see if we can't pull it up. But depending how the settings are in your Tangem app, how you set up your wallet, you might be able to change your access code even if you don't know it. So you'd go to settings, and then you select your wallet, and then you go to device settings, and scan your card. And after you do that, there is an option to change access code right here. And as you can see for this wallet, I have access code recovery enabled. So this will allow me to change the access code for this card without having to use another card or anything like that. So I just tap change access code, then you have to do your biometrics or whatever, and then you just set the new access code. So that's how you would change it, assuming you have the access code recovery enabled. As long as you have that enabled, you'll be able to change it. So hopefully that helps. Doran says, I barely have as much crypto as a 3-card set costs. I need no Tangem wallet. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I wouldn't say you don't need any Tangem wallet. You definitely should have a cold wallet. I don't care if you've got $50 worth of crypto or $100. In my opinion, you shouldn't be in crypto if you don't understand the significance of cold storage and owning your crypto. Like keeping your crypto on an exchange it should be a temporary thing. You buy it, and then the moment you can transfer it, you get it out of there, because exchanges are custodial wallets. You don't actually own the crypto on exchanges. Those numbers that you see on the crypto exchange when you're staring at your portfolio, that's the exchange's side of things. That's not even the blockchain. That's just numbers on a screen. It's literally not your money. The exchange remains in full control of your crypto because they control the keys that are used to access that crypto on the blockchain where crypto exists. But yeah, maybe even then, maybe it's still not right for you. I will say, consider, even if you have a insignificant amount of crypto, also consider, like, do you expect that crypto to go up? Do you have conviction that it's going to go up? Because even if you have $100 worth of crypto, if it goes up, 2 or 5x, you're looking at, $200 to $500. And then you have to ask yourself, well, would I be upset if I lost that crypto because an exchange, blocked me out of my account and then I didn't have time to sell it, or the exchange got hacked, or something like that, my account was compromised? Definitely ask yourself those just honest questions, and that should help you decide if you should get a cold wallet. Because as long as you get a cold wallet, send your crypto to it, and use it the right way, which is just basically as a savings account, no one is ever going to get access to your crypto, and only you will have control over it. So no one's going to be able to freeze your funds or lock your account. It's Harry said, "Hey bro, can you tell me if I store recurring buy Bitcoin in Tangem Wallet price lock?" Um, I I can only assume what you're trying to say. I don't know if I'm right because the sentence is kind of smushed together. But if you're like DCAing Bitcoin, you're buying it every week, every month, and you're transferring it to your Tangem wallet. Um, the price that you bought it at remains the same. Like that doesn't change just because you transfer it to a new address on the blockchain. Um, so your average, buy price and everything remains the same. Uh, the price of crypto continues to fluctuate even when it's managed by a cold wallet. You have to understand that cold wallets like Tangem and wallets in general, whether it's Ledger, Trezor, OneKey, EliPal, MetaMask, Phantom, Rabby, whatever you're using, none of those hold any crypto. Crypto only exists in one place, and that's on the blockchain. What you're doing with these wallets is you're securely managing and storing the keys that are used to access your crypto on the blockchain. So simply transferring your crypto to a cold wallet, which is what you're really doing, is transferring your crypto to an address that is where the keys are secured by a cold wallet. When you do that, it doesn't affect how the crypto exists, right? Because it's always the same. It's always on the blockchain. So its price will continue to fluctuate. Hopefully that answered your question. Let's see. Do you but with Tangem app? Would you recommend it for beginners? I have Tangem Wallet, just got it set up. I'm not. Um, I'm not sure what you meant by the first part of the sentence, but Tangem is by far the best cold wallet for beginners. It's probably the best crypto wallet for beginners in general. It's that easy to use. The only thing you need to use it is your phone and the card, and of course the Tangem app, which is free. But yeah, Tangem is by far the best wallet for beginners, in my opinion, and in my experience after talking with over 20,000 people on this channel. So yeah. David says bought 3 sets of 2 Tangem wallets thanks to you. They're working great. Then I bought the Ledger Flex, and during installation on the iPhone 14 Pro, it was circling, so I couldn't install it. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that. If you have a computer, David, you could set up your Flex on your computer and then connect it to your iPhone. Otherwise, I would try just to make sure your iPhone's firmware is up to date. Make sure the Ledger Live app is up to date as well. And I would start there. Let's see. Let's see. So I got locked out of my third card. Is there anything to reset it? I was factory reset the wallet to get a seed phrase. Um, so I'd be curious if that third card, if you were you able to factory reset that one, or is it still set up? I would need to know a little more info. Bobby Law says just bought a Tangem wallet with the link in the description. Awesome. Bobby, I'm curious to know if this is your first cold wallet or your first Tangem wallet. Definitely let me know. I meant to ask, do you buy with Tangem app? So you're talking about buying crypto. So the Tangem app, I mean, you can buy and sell and swap and stake crypto directly in the app. That is a feature that they offer, which I can kind of show you what that looks like at least. So like on the Tangem screen, you can see, there is a buy, a swap, and a sell. And then if you tap on something like Solana, you can actually stake it. You can see there's staking service right here. So you can pretty much do everything from the Tangem app if you want to. There's also market prices, and this is for every cryptocurrency, so you can see a lot of insight about the coin or token that you're looking at. Its market cap, its total trading volume, where it ranks in the market. So Solana is the 6th ranked crypto in the world. You can see what exchanges they're listed on. You can see official Twitter accounts and things like that. So it's actually super cool, the insight that the app gives you. It really is a all-in-one app. That said, I don't generally buy and sell crypto using Tangem because you have to understand cold wallets still interact with centralized exchanges to offer these services. So they just partner with other exchanges. So even though it is a little more seamless because you're doing it directly through the Tangem app with your cold wallet, The fees are generally higher than if you were to use an external exchange, something like Kraken or whatever you use. And the reason I think they get away with that is just because it's basically like a convenience fee. They charge you a little more. So personally, what I do if I'm selling or even buying, I'll buy on the exchange and then send to my wallet. And same thing if I'm selling, I'll send my crypto to Kraken is what I use, and then I'll sell there. And I always get better rates doing it externally. I have found that the swap feature can be pretty similar to swapping on an external crypto exchange as far as the rates go. So yeah, it's an option. It's fine to do. Just know that the rates are going to be higher. Also, the limits will be lower. So on crypto exchanges, like if you go through all the KYC and stuff, your limits are going to be something insane. Like you can buy or withdraw like $100,000 per day or $10 million a day using the third party exchanges through Tangem. I think you're much more limited, probably less than 10K, which I'm not saying a lot of people are dealing with that amount of money. So, it just kind of depends on your situation. Okay. It's Harry. I already answered your question. If you're recurring, if you're DCAing Bitcoin basically, and you store it in Tangem, the price doesn't lock. Crypto only lives on the blockchain. The code is up and it's not letting me link it to my wallet now. I think what you did, it sounds like what you did is you factory reset two of the cards and the third one never got factory resetted. So if you want to link all those cards together, and if I'm correct in what I'm saying, you would have to factory reset all the cards again and then set them back up all together again. Because once you set up your Tangem wallets, you can't connect another card later on. It's not how it works. You have to do it all in the same setup process. So if you have two set up and one is still set up as the old wallet, you need to factory reset all three of them and then set them up again. Crypto Roger says, does Tangem have a desktop interface? No, they don't, and they don't plan to anytime soon. Their mobile is safer in general for just in general, but especially the way Tangem works, being that it's only an NFC wallet, it's really only meant to work on mobile, and that's one reason why it is so secure. Let's see. I saw a comment on one of your latest videos that says Tangem trades transaction verification autonomy for convenience versus Ledger, but I'm seeing that's not necessarily true. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you mean. If you could clarify, I might be able to give you an answer. Driving US wouldn't even consider an option without the seed phrase, and generating the seed phrase on the phone. What makes me really concerned, even in the airplane mode, there still might be malware on it. Yeah, I get that. I get that concern. However, you have to understand that that's just a theory. That's never been the case. That's never been true. You can make up theories for really any device on the market. The reality is, if you look at the data and look at the facts, Tangem has been around since 2017. They've produced more than 6 million cards, and not a single one has been compromised. You also have to understand that the app is created in a way that is isolated from other apps on your phone and other software on your phone. So as long as you're using the official Tangem app, you're going to be safe. Also, the seed phrase isn't stored in the app. It's not stored locally on your device anywhere. If that were the case, it wouldn't be a cold wallet. It's simply generated in the app. It's displayed for you to record, obviously. Then it is sent to your cards. And before the setup process is even complete, the seed phrase is erased from your device, and it only lives on the card where it remains forever. There's no way to ever go back and retrieve your seed phrase from your cards after the setup. So yeah, I get the concern. I understand it. But the reality is that's never been an issue. If it ever is an issue, we would address it then. But as Tangem exists right now, it is 100% secure. So Let's see. Bill says, what is the safest way to move part of my crypto from one Tangem to other wallets? Well, the safest way is to just do it the right way, Bill, which is whatever wallet you're sending crypto to, you just, if you're sending Solana, for example, you just go to the receiving wallet, you copy the receiving address for Solana, then you go back to your Tangem wallet, you hit send on your Solana token, you paste in the receiving wallet's receiving address, you input the amount you want to send, and you hit send. If you're not comfortable with this process yet, you could just do a smaller transaction at first just to ensure that you're doing everything right. Do 10, $15. And then after that, you can send the rest. That's probably the safer way to do it if you're not confident. But sending crypto is the same. The process is really the same across the entire crypto ecosystem. So whether you're sending crypto from an exchange to a wallet, from a wallet to an exchange, from one wallet to another wallet, it's really all the same process. You copy the receiving address from the receiving wallet, you paste it into the send wallet, and you hit send. It really is that simple. Now, of course, there are some small caveats, like if you're sending certain cryptos like XRP and XLM, if you're sending those back to a centralized crypto exchange like Coinbase, it requires a memo tag, which is just, it's like an address basically for your account on the exchange. That way it shows up in your exchange. But if you're sending crypto like XRP or XLM from the exchange to a self-custodial wallet like Tangem, you don't need the memo tag because your receiving address is a good enough identifier. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Definitely, if you need me to clarify anything, just let me know. Hello, I created a Tangem seed phrase online, not to, you didn't put it in airplane mode. That's completely fine. So Tangem recently added the ability to basically set up the wallet while your phone is not connected to the internet, which you could technically always do. They just kind of made it more of a process. But that's honestly, that's a feel good feature. Everyone, including myself, who set up Tangem Wallet before this was ever made known that it was a thing, you're all still good. You're still secure. Nothing to worry about. Scott says, "Is Web3 better than Tangem?" Scott, Web3, that's a scam. All those videos you see that are saying to stop using cold wallets and get a Web3 wallet or get on Web3, that's a complete scam. Web3 is a buzzword that was made up by venture capitalists to make it sound like they know what they're talking about when they get into crypto. But Web3 is vaporware. It doesn't exist. It really just exists to scam people and take advantage of them. So just know when someone tells you get your crypto into a Web3 wallet or into Web3, that is a scam. You should immediately block and report that account for scamming. That's what I do. Q&A, please. That's what we're doing right now. Let's see. Red Production says, can I send cold wallet to cold wallet or only through exchange? Absolutely. There's no limits to when you're sending crypto. You have to understand, don't look at it as wallets and exchanges and things like that. Those are all just tools. They don't actually hold crypto. All of crypto exists on the blockchain. Just the blockchain. So the blockchain doesn't see it as the exchange or as your wallet. It doesn't know that you're using a Tangem wallet or a Ledger wallet. The blockchain just sees addresses. You're sending it from this address, which just happens to be controlled by an exchange, and you're sending it to this address, which just happens to be controlled by the keys that are secured by your cold wallet. So yeah, it doesn't matter. You can send from exchange to exchange, from wallet to wallet, from hot wallet to cold wallet, from cold wallet to cold wallet, from hot wallet to hot wallet, from exchange to hot wallet. It doesn't matter. It's all the same process. Blake Hernandez says, got the ring and cards ordered. Thanks for the discount. Awesome. Yeah, definitely, Blake. I think you've been on a couple of the live streams, at least on the last one or two. But definitely let me know what you think of the ring. I've been wearing mine. I have two rings. I've had this one since it came out. I think it's been about a year now. And it's served me really well. And I think it's one of the coolest wallets on the market just because of how discreet it is. And also, if you travel a lot for work or even for pleasure, or you just live a more active lifestyle, but you you still want instant access to your crypto without, having to keep it on a hot wallet on your phone, then the Ring is by far one of the best wallets in my opinion. Also, like when you're traveling through airport security and stuff, uh, not just the Tangem Ring is great for it, but even the cards, because they're EMP proof, because they're resistant to electrostatic discharge, they're not affected by the X-ray machine. It doesn't look like some weird device that something like Ledger, like this. A lot of people might know what this is. Whereas if you're just wearing a ring on your finger that has no markings, or you just have a card in your wallet, no one's going to question or even look at it. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think. Does Tangem support passphrase protected wallets? Yes, it does. So if you're creating a passphrase in Tangem, it is a bit of a process, because you have to actually, if you're setting up a brand new wallet, first you have to set up your wallet with the seed phrase. And then once you do that, you'd have to, and after you write down your seed phrase, of course, after you do that, you'd have to factory reset the entire wallet. And then you go through the setup process again. But this time you would import that seed phrase that you just created. And below the seed phrase option, it says passphrase. If you were creating a new passphrase, which you would be if it's a new seed phrase, you would just enter whatever you want your passphrase to be. And that would create a brand new seed phrase, passphrase wallet combo. Now, if you already have a wallet that's set up with the seed phrase, passphrase combo, then when you get your Tangem cards and set it up, you would just choose a seed phrase option, import seed phrase. You would enter, your 12, 18, 24 word seed phrase, whatever it is. And then you just enter your passphrase below it in the passphrase field, and you're good to go. So it does support it. Just if you're creating one, it is a little more of a process compared to something like Trezor or Ledger. That's just a little more convenient. Teach me on a Doge. Did you miss the main question? As far as why I have 8 Tangem wallets, so I don't actually utilize all the wallets at the same time. I have about 4 set up that I actively use on a regular basis. And the reason I do that is to diversify my crypto and reduce my overall risk. As far as why I own so many Tangem wallets, I kind of nerd out over wallets, and this is what I do for a living, is testing and reviewing wallets. I like to try to break stuff, and I like to see how many wallets I can add on the Tangem app and see if anything weird comes up. And then I just like collecting the different designs. And if someone in my family or a close friend gets into crypto, I always have cards that I can hook them up with and get them into self custody. Because like for my friend's birthday, I think 2 years ago now, he had all his crypto stored on Coinbase, and he had a really bad experience with Coinbase. His account was locked for 1 year, and he had a few $1,000s in there. So he literally wasn't able to access his crypto for about a year, until he finally got stuff figured out with the exchange, which was a whole process in itself. But after that, he's like, "Hey, I want to get one of these cold wallet things. What do I recommend?" Or yeah, what do I recommend? So for his birthday, I brought him over a brand new box of Tangem wallets, and I let him set it up completely on his own. I didn't guide him with anything. He did have a question like regarding the seed phrase, just like kind of what it was and what he needed to do with it. So I helped him out there as far as write it down and put it in a safe place. But yeah, that's why I have so many cards, just because I like to mess around with stuff. Um, if you add an additional set of cards or ring to your original wallet, will you have a secondary access code? So you can't technically add an additional set of cards or ring to your current wallet that's set up. The only workaround for that is if your current Tangem wallet set is if it has a seed phrase, then once you get your new cards or your ring or whatever it may be, when you go through the setup process, you'll just import that seed phrase into your new cards, and it will be the same wallet because it has the same keys. So it will control all the same crypto that you own, but it'll be separate sets of cards in the Tangem wallet. So you'll have to swipe back and forth to see them. And obviously you'll need the card for that set if you're trying to confirm transactions. But yeah, you can have individual access codes for all your cards, even cards in the same set. If you have a 3-card set, you can change the access code for each individual card, or you can keep them all the same. It's really up to you. Teach Me How to Doge says, I keep hearing about Web3. What is it anyway? Web3 it doesn't exist. It's vaporware. That's just a buzzword that was, again, created and made popular by venture capitalists who were getting in the space and selling their own vaporware. Usually what people mean when they refer to Web3, like Web3 right now is really just an idea. It's the future of the internet where everything is decentralized. The closest thing we have to that right now is the blockchain, where all of crypto exists. So yeah. Crypto Roger said maybe it was AI you're talking about, Coach JV. Yeah. So with a lot of these influencers, and I haven't seen, fortunately, I haven't seen like a deep fake version of myself or an AI version. But what they do with a lot of these influencers is they use AI to create fake videos, making them say things that they never actually said. So you have to be really careful with that. Jack Don says, do you have Tangem Ring? Yes, I do. Got my Tangem Ring right here. Like I said, I've had this for about a year. The best thing about the Tangem Ring is that there's a million other rings on the market that look exactly like this. So the only way someone's going to know if it's a crypto wallet is if you tell them. There's a small marking inside of the ring, just the Tangem logo. It doesn't actually say Tangem, but it's so hard to see if you don't know that it's there. I mean, you can't even see it on camera, really. So yeah. Also, in order to scan the ring, like if you're holding your phone, just holding it, like the NFC on this phone is right here. Just holding it doesn't actually prompt the phone to open the wallet, like when you hold up the card, it does. And they created it that way. That way, every time you pick up your phone, it's not like, open the Tangem app. So you have to actually take off the ring if you want to scan it, which is nice. Scott says, Jake Claver says the same thing. No, he doesn't. Those are all deep fake AIs. No influencer, YouTuber, whatever you want to call them, who is in crypto and actually knows like the basics of crypto, like Jake, like Coach JV, none of those guys would ever tell you to not use a seed phrase or to not use a cold wallet and to use Web3. All those videos are scams. Jay Rue says, what's the best way to keep your wallet cold, dry ice? Honestly, like if you want to keep it super cold where no one's ever going to get to it, I'd probably just flush it down the toilet. And that way no one will ever access it. Alrighty. Original Polly says, if a Tangem seed phrase is imported into a new wallet, would all past transactions show up? That's a good question. So yeah, seed phrases, just for anyone who doesn't know, seed phrases are not wallet specific. So like the blockchain has no idea if your seed phrase was created in a Tangem wallet or a Ledger wallet. A seed phrase is a cryptographic process. It all happens on the blockchain. It all looks the same. That's why you can take your seed phrase that was created in Tangem and import it into Ledger or import it into Trezor. Now, of course, there are small caveats like if you own crypto on Tangem, that's not supported on a Trezor wallet. Even if you import your seed phrase into Trezor, you won't see that crypto in Trezor because it just doesn't support those coins. It doesn't mean that your crypto isn't still there. It's just not being displayed in the wallet's user interface. As far as if past transactions will show up, I don't know. Like you're probably referring to like, will it show up in the user interface? So like if you imported your Tangem seed phrase into Ledger, will those transactions show up in Ledger Live? I honestly don't know. I haven't tested that. What I will say is everything is recorded on the blockchain. So those transactions are all permanently recorded, and associated with your wallet addresses. So they are there. You just have to know where to find them. And really you would just take your wallet's receiving address, put them into the block explorer, whether that's on Ethereum, like Etherscan or SolScan for Solana. And there you can look at everything you've ever done with your wallet. It literally is all recorded. But as far as if it'll show up in the wallet's user interface, Polly, I don't know. I was going to use them by splitting things up with 3 wallets. So just know that with Tangem, 3 cards doesn't mean 3 wallets. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, but again, you need 2 Tangem cards to set up 1 wallet. So if you have 3 cards, you really need to set all of them up because you can't set up a wallet with 1 card. So if you have 3 cards, you only set up 2, you basically have 1 useless wallet. So yeah. And again, anyone who's just joining or whatnot, Tangem is having one of their biggest sales of the year right now that I've seen. It is buy one, get one 60% off. The link to this deal is in the description. With this deal, you're getting 6 Tangem cards, which is actually 3 cold wallets. You only need 2 cards to set up 1 wallet. And you can manage all of the sets in a single Tangem app. So you can literally have all your crypto diversified across 3 different wallets secured by 3 separate seed phrases, and you can manage them all safely in the same app. So yeah, again, it's one of the best deals of the year. It goes on till November 7th. If you can't take advantage of this deal, that's no worries. My code Cyberskrilla will get you 10% off year round, even if you don't want this specific deal. So you can always save a little bit of money. And then aside from that, like all these companies, they have sales, year round. So just, usually the best sales are around this time as we get closer to Christmas, Black Friday. But this specific sale, buy one, get one 60% off, I think is just as good, if not a little better than Tangem's last year Black Friday sale, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you're basically getting 3 cold wallets for the price of 1, only $97. So you're literally saving $40. Plus you get the free shipping. Or if you want the Tangem ring, that link in the description will also get you 25% off plus free shipping. So yeah. And the reason why you might want multiple Tangem wallets, again, to diversify your crypto. When you diversify your crypto across multiple wallets, you are effectively reducing your risk. An example I like to use because it's so recent and it had such an impact on on everyone. It went viral. Was Brandon LaRoque, who he's a retired guy. He had his and his wife's basically their entire retirement almost all in crypto, specifically in XRP that he had been accumulating over the last 8 years. He had it in one wallet, $3 million in one wallet. His wallet was hacked. He lost it all. So now the last I heard, he was considering, going back to work at however old he was. I think he's like 56 or 57 years old. So yeah, the way you reduce that risk is to diversify your crypto. And that's what I'm saying is with Tangem having 6 cards, you get 3 cold wallets. It's the most convenient way to diversify your crypto that I've experienced, even after testing all the different wallets. So yeah. Starbase Texas says, if you have 8 wallets, for example, how do you know which wallet contains what? Can you tap it to the phone to find out which is which? You can tap it to the phone and it'll bring it up and it'll open that wallet. So that is one way. Also, because you can rename the wallets in the app, if you keep your cards like in the Tangem box that they came in, you could just label the box the same thing that it's labeled in the app. I could kind of show you like what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, that's a cool thing about the cards is with each set, you can change the name. You can see this one says Bitcoin. So like if this were my Bitcoin wallet, but yeah, you just go into settings and then you go rename wallet. So if depending how you're separating your different wallets, you can name it whatever you want. Like maybe, you got a wallet for your wifey, you can name it wifey. Maybe you got your kids' wallets that you want to keep track of. You can just name it as kids. Maybe you diversify by putting just one type of crypto in each wallet. You could just call it like your XRP wallet, and you can see it changes that. So this is my XRP wallet. And then if I really wanted to, just to make things easy, you could make sure that these 2 cards are stored in the box and then just pull the box XRP. That way, these cards are for this one. But like you said, you can just scan the cards and it should bring up the wallet. With Android, I don't know. I'm really not an Android user. But see, I just scanned the card and I guess it doesn't really tell you, but that's why you have to label the card. It's asking me for my access code now. So as long as you have the box labeled, you'll know which card it is. You just have to be organized at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. But it's really not that difficult to manage 3 sets of wallets, especially all the same brand that are all managed in the same app. That's why I think Tangem is the easiest for that. Red Hawk Dancing said, "Is when Tangem comes up with a device like a starter accessory kit like EliPal, it'll be perfect." Yeah, I mean, I did like that idea. The EliPal X cards, just a device just for generating the seed phrase. I did like that idea. I don't think it's necessary for Tangem. Again, Tangem has been doing things the way they've been doing it for the last 9 years. Even though the seed phrase option, I guess, is a little newer within the last few years. But it would be cool. I mean, I don't know. I could definitely pitch the idea to them. Maybe they've already considered it. But if that's something that people want to see, like I would imagine they might do it, just because Tangem is one of the best when it comes to listening to their customers. That's why they've blown up over the last few years. They have implemented really everything that their users and potential customers want, with the exception of a few things that a lot of us are still waiting to see. But yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. Crypto Roger says he's going to get the Stealth 3-pack. That's my favorite one. I think that's a good choice. Again, Scott J. Claver doesn't say to take your crypto off a cold wallet and put it in a Web3. That is a scam. That's a complete scam. That's not Jay Claver actually saying that. That's a scammer who used Jake Claver's image and likeness and probably voice to make it look like he was saying it, but he wasn't. Jay Claver promotes, if you go watch his official YouTube channel, he promotes using a cold wallet. Good morning, Skrilla. I noticed in your videos your phone is always on Wi-Fi. Should I get rid of my mobile line on the phone I use only for crypto? No. The only reason that's the case is because the phone that I'm using to record to show you my phone, that's the phone I use on a daily basis, and that's what I actually have my wallets on. This phone that you're seeing on screen right now is really just for my YouTube videos. I don't use it that much. So I like my Tangem wallet. I use it on my main phone that has a cell service and Wi-Fi. So, are we able to set sell limits when we have Tangem Wallet? You can't set sell limits on cold wallets. At least that's not a native feature on any cold wallet. So no. Well, honestly, it's worth a peace of mind knowing that your crypto is safe. I'd have that any day over having sell limits on a crypto exchange where it might not even work because the market gets liquidated for $19 billion or whatever. I would much rather just know my crypto is secure and then kind of keep an eye on it and sell it manually when that time comes. That's the only reason I'm able to sleep good at night, is because I'm literally not worried about my crypto at all, at least being stolen from me. Now, of course, still got to worry about the price going up and down, but I've got long-term conviction, so I'm not too worried there. But yeah, I mean, it's the best feeling knowing that my crypto is secure. I think one of the biggest fear in crypto for sure is losing it, right? A lot of people invest in crypto, for their retirement, maybe to pass on to their kids. Maybe I'm sure a lot of people are hoping for maybe something crazy like 100x, some life-changing amount of money. But the fear always remains, and that fear is that, what if I don't even make it to that far because someone steals my crypto or because I get hacked? Using a cold wallet and using it correctly eliminates that fear. That's why I'm able to just kind of chill and be okay with everything as far as crypto goes. Do you put a label on the cards if you have many wallets? I don't put labels on the cards. I put them on the actual Tangem box, not necessary to put them on the card. Also know that the cards do have it doesn't tell you what it is specifically, but they do have numbers on these cards, and these cards are just identifiers, so you know which card is which. Doesn't really matter, only when you're setting up the wallet, but you could use that if you wanted to, write down like card ending in 5632 is for my Bitcoin wallet, and then you'd have that labeled in the app. So there's lots of ways to do it. Whatever works best in your brain, in your mind to organize things, that's how I would do it. There's no right or wrong way, just whatever works. Crypto Roger says more of you can hit the like button. I appreciate you. Today's the first day that we're live on LinkedIn. I didn't realize I could connect the streaming platform to LinkedIn. I have no idea if anyone's watching on LinkedIn, but shout out to any LinkedIn viewers. If you want more content about crypto security and navigating the space safely, just check out Cybersquirrel on YouTube. We're live there right now. So yeah. Ford Donington says, when you move crypto to a cold wallet, why do they ask for a tag? I think it's just like a default option. You don't need a tag when you move crypto to a cold wallet. You just leave it blank, or if that doesn't work, you just enter zeros. But a tag is not required when sending to a cold wallet. Starbase Texas says, I like your videos, very patient attitude. Awesome, thank you. I don't consider myself a patient person, but it is something I'm working on. But in crypto, I think you kind of have to be patient because just otherwise you get wrecked, right? Does Tangem allow staking? Is it as easy as staking on an exchange, like just click a button? Yes, it is. Tangem only offers staking for certain coins right now. They add new staking. Let me check real quick. They add new staking options. It seems like, once every month. But currently for Tangem, it offers native staking through the app for Tron, Solana, Polygon, BNB, and Cosmos. And then on their roadmap, they have other ones coming like Cardano and some other things. But yeah, it really is that easy. You just open up the app, you select the crypto that you want to stake, you hit stake, make sure to read the terms. I can show you kind of what that looks like. I don't have any crypto in this example wallet, but I can show you still where you would go. So like I said, you can stake Solana, for example. So let's just say, I had Solana in my wallet. You just tap Solana and you can see the stake button right here. And it tells you everything you need to know, your APR, the available balance you can stake, the unbonding period. And if you want to learn like what these things mean, you can click the little info button. It'll tell you. Reward claiming is auto, tells you your warm-up period and the reward schedule. Again, you can really just click to learn more about what all this means. But if I had crypto in my wallet, I would just tap the stake button and then choose how much I want to stake. And yeah, it really is that easy. But yeah, it will be cool once they have some more staking options. So hopefully they can add those. AJ Flores says, how many different coins should you put in one wallet? There's no right or wrong answer for that, really. It just depends on what you want to do. These wallets can hold an unlimited amount of crypto, and they can hold, tens of thousands, technically millions of tokens. So whatever you feel safe doing and whatever works as far as like how you want to organize your portfolios, you can do it whatever way you want. There's no right or wrong way. Oh, this is I saw this the other day, Rob. I don't know if it was you that posted it, but someone commented this exact same thing on, I think it's on one of my videos. He said that the crypto exchange is like a public bathroom. You do your business there and you get out. That's exactly right. An exchange is an exchange. Exchange meaning it's a place for trading. It's not a place to store your crypto or store your assets long term. James says that he finds it better to buy crypto off the Tangem app. Yeah, I mean, if that works for you, James, it is a more seamless option because you can do everything from the Tangem app. Like I said, you're just paying a little more for the fees. But if the convenience is worth it, then that makes total sense. So thanks for sharing your preference there. Scott says, should a person sell their crypto to get paid, or do you think it's better to borrow against it so you can keep all your crypto? I can't answer that for you, Scott. I'll tell you, I'll never borrow against it. You're just asking to get wrecked. I think that's irresponsible. and I also don't, like take out loans or anything like that. I'm pretty much against doing that. If that's something you want to do, and if you're okay with that risk, then you could do that. But that's not something I'll ever do. Um, Rob says, is buying crypto off the Tangem wallet directly basically turning it into a hot wallet that could be compromised? Nope, it's not. When you buy crypto, all you're doing is you're actually buying it with like your debit card. Again, it's still a centralized exchange. It's a third-party exchange completely separate from the Tangem wallet. So you're buying the crypto using your bank account or Apple Pay or Google Pay or your credit card, whatever it is, whatever option you choose or that's available to you. You purchase it, and then the exchange actually sends it to your cold wallet. You're not connecting your wallet to anything. You're not signing any spend approvals or anything like that. They're completely separate, and it sends it to your wallet. John, nice to see you on the live stream again. I appreciate you. Just got into work. I have the 2-card and ring Tangem, but I have thought about the big 60% off deal. But why have an extra 6 cards? Honestly curious. Again, John, you don't need an extra 6 cards if that's not what's right for you. The reason you would want to consider it is if you want to diversify your crypto portfolio. Again, it all comes down to reducing your risk or spreading out your risk, right? I think that's best practice when it comes to operational security. When you're in crypto, spread out your risk. We make mistakes. You don't want that mistake to leading to your entire portfolio being lost. Teach me how to Doge says, what crypto do you recommend having low transaction fees? Solana has some of the lowest transaction fees. Solana being as efficient as it is, it's like 3 cents to send crypto on Solana. For tax season, in your experience, does Tangem help export your portfolio, or do you recommend another software? No, cold wallets don't have. So some cold wallets offer, they basically just promote third-party services and software that will do it for you. But no, cold wallets, you're completely responsible for gathering that data and generating the proper document to file for taxes. So what I use is coinledger.io. This allows you to link up all your crypto exchanges where you've bought and sold crypto. It allows you to link your cold wallet, not actually link it, but just read-only access to your receiving addresses so it can see everything you've done on the blockchain. And then once you do that, you have to link every address you've ever used in every exchange. Once you do that, it generates a report, tells you your profit, your losses, all that stuff for all the different cryptocurrencies, even NFTs. And then it'll, if there's any discrepancies, you can either go through it with your tax person. You can actually share it with them. You can invite them into the software, or you can do it yourself if you don't have a lot of transactions. And then after that, it generates the documents that you'll report to, or that you'll turn in with the rest of your tax documents. So again, I use CoinLedger. There's a lot of other ones out there. There's Zen Ledger. There's Coinly. I like CoinLedger. It works well with all my wallets. If you want to see the process of how I do it, like you can even do it if you use TurboTax, for example. You can generate the documents and upload to TurboTax. I show you how to do that in my video. If you just type in on YouTube, how to file crypto taxes, I think my video comes up number 1. James says that buying crypto through Tangem was cheaper than Coinbase. James, I actually believe that. Coinbase has, I think, the highest fees out of any crypto exchange. They are terrible. So I'm glad, thanks for sharing that, and I'm glad that it was cheaper for you. Let's see. So you weren't able to reset the third card. Now it says an error occurred during the operation. I would try factory resetting it again. If you don't remember your access code, change your access code first, then try doing the factory reset. If you still keep getting that error code, you'll need to reach out to Tangem. That's not anything I can help you with. I'm sorry. Ford says, when I tried to move a large amount to cold wallet, I got an alert about it. So yeah, you're probably saying the exchange alerted you. If you don't often move large amounts of crypto out of the exchange you use, that their system registers it as, like an alert, like, hey, that's not normal. Are you actually trying to do this? That's why it does that. You have to understand that exchanges are all controlled by AI algorithms and bots. Humans don't get involved until later on in the process. So if you're doing things from your account that you don't usually do, that could be something like using a VPN, logging in from a different device, moving large amounts that you don't usually use. Those will all trigger alerts in their system, and that's sometimes that can lead to your account being locked or your funds being frozen until you can verify some things. That's just the unfortunate reality of centralized crypto exchanges. Is it possible to send crypto from Tangem to Tangem Wallet without an exchange? Yeah, of course. You don't need an exchange to send crypto. Again, you can send crypto between wallets. It's always the same process. You'd go to one Tangem wallet, you'd copy the receiving address, then you go to your other Tangem wallet, you hit send, you paste the receiving address from the other Tangem wallet, and then you send it. It's just as simple as sending crypto from an exchange. Same process. Starbase Texas said, I saw another video that shows Ledger wallets now offer a seed recovery card. I'm not sure what they call it. That's the Ledger recovery key. But it seems like Tangem should consider this too. What do you think about this system? That is what Tangem is. They got that idea from Tangem. The card is where your seed phrase is stored. So Tangem was one of the first to do it. So Ledger took that idea from Tangem. The main difference is with Tangem, not only is it your backup, you can also you also use your card to sign transactions. Whereas with the Ledger recovery key, which is this right here, this is just for recovering your wallet. So this holds the seed phrase on a secure element chip protected by a pin, but it's only for recovering access to your Ledger wallet. Like if you reset the device or for some reason it was factory resetted, instead of having to enter your 24-word seed phrase, you just hold this up to the back of any of the Ledger touchscreens and then enter your PIN, of course, and it'll give you access to your wallet. Tangem, again, it's the same thing, but yeah, that's where they got the idea. Putting your wallet on dry ice is not a good option for keeping it cold. Well, there actually is a video where they put the Tangem wallet in dry ice. I'm not even kidding. They also shot it with a gun and they also lit it on fire. And it still works after all that. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. You're welcome. Make the change. Absolutely. AJ Flores says, what do we get when you join your membership? If you're talking about the membership option on my channel, it's not like a course or a group or anything. The only thing that I offer for that is priority reply to comments. So if you comment on any of my videos, YouTube will notify me and I can get to you quicker. I get hundreds, thousands of comments. I get thousands of comments every month on YouTube. So at this point, I can't keep up with them all. So you will get priority reply, and just ask anyone on the channel. I usually reply if it's not within seconds. And no, I'm not kidding, depending on what date it is. I'll usually reply, within 24 hours. So that'll just give you priority reply. Other than that, just a way to support the channel if you want to support it. But I don't expect anyone who doesn't want to support the channel to sign up for it. So Depayne says, what about Trezor 7? So I have actually something interesting. I just talked to Trezor today. So my wallet was supposed to be shipped out yesterday, my Safe 7, but because the government is shut down in the US, they can't ship it. So I thought I was going to be able to have my hands on that by tomorrow at the latest. Now I don't know when I'm getting the Safe 7. I might get it later on, whenever the government figures their crap out. But as far as the Safe 7, yeah, I've already ordered mine. A ton of people who watched my Trezor Safe 7 video, if you've seen it. If you haven't, go watch it. I'm super excited for it. I haven't been this excited for a wallet in a while. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Anyone who's just joining, just know that Tangem is having a sale right now, one of their best sales that I've ever seen. Buy one set of 3 cards and you get the second one for 60% off using the link in the description of this live stream here. So you're getting 6 cards for $97 plus free shipping. And with 6 cards, you can you can set up 3 separate cold wallets in the Tangem app. So you're literally getting 3 cold wallets for the price of what most cold wallets cost. Um, and all these cards work the same. So it lets you choose like the different designs. They're all Tangem 2.0 cards, which means they all are the most current version of Tangem cards. So they all allow you to generate a seed phrase and a passphrase and all that good stuff. Um, so yeah, buy one, given 60% off. Also, that link in the description will get you 25% off the Tangem ring, which comes with 2 cards, works exactly the same as the cards, and you get free shipping with that. Otherwise, if you just want one set, like a 3-card pack or a 2-card pack, that link still gets you 10% off. So either way, no matter which option you choose, you save a good chunk of money. As far as why you might want multiple sets of Tangem wallets, again, if your crypto portfolio isn't currently diversified, now's a good time to do it. If you have an amount of crypto that you want to diversify, when you diversify your crypto into multiple cold wallets, you're just spreading out the risk, because the biggest risk in crypto right now is user error. We're all human. We all make mistakes. So the best way to spread your risk is to spread your crypto out across multiple wallets. And with the Tangem app, it's really easy because it allows you to set up as many wallets as you want in the app and manage all your different cards from your one app. So it's one of the best wallets for diversifying your crypto. It's also just the best wallets for beginners in general. Like if you're new to cold wallets or even just crypto, Tangem is the easiest wallet to use on the market. So, in my experience. How far do you think scammers or hackers are in one day being able to access your crypto address without the need for a seed phrase? You're asking like how far away is that from being a possibility? Um, I mean, there's other ways that scammers get to your wallet. Like malicious transaction approvals are one of the most common scams in crypto today. That's how most people who use a cold wallet end up getting hacked. Excuse me. Malicious transaction approval is when you connect your wallet to a third-party website. Like maybe you're going to claim a crypto airdrop. That website is malicious. And once you sign the spend approval, which is basically telling the platform, hey, you can take this amount of crypto out of my wallet for fees or whatever it may be. But if it's a malicious transaction, you're actually giving them full access to all the funds in that account in your wallet. That's one of the most common ways people get scammed. So there are other ways, but if you use your cold wallet correctly, which means you just don't connect it to external websites, you just send crypto to it. You can, send crypto out of it. Basically, treat it like a savings account. If you use it the way it's meant to be used, scammers and hackers aren't getting to your crypto. So that's what I've been doing. I've been managing my crypto the same way for the past almost 6 years now. And I've never, of course, I've bought rug pulls and stuff like that, but I've never actually have been compromised as far as my wallet security goes. And that's just because I use it the way they're intended to be used, and that's why I sleep good at night. Matt says he has Arculus wallet. Is that a good one? Matt, I don't use Arculus wallet. I have one. It's 100% closed source. I just don't like using 100% closed source wallets because there's no way to confirm that any claims that the company makes are true. Whereas like with Tangem, the app is 100% open source. You can take the code on GitHub and you can actually review it yourself. You can put it into something like Chat GPT, and any questions you have about the code, it'll break it down for you and tell you. So I like that. So that means people can verify the claims that Tangem makes are true. With Arculus, yeah, just don't feel comfortable using it is what it comes down to. As far as its design, I do like that Arculus is like a metal card. I think that's cool. But I think the Tangem user interface is better. They support more cryptocurrencies and networks than Arculus. So yeah. Will Tangem ever add an option to generate a new receiving address for transactions to ensure full privacy? They say that they're still planning to do the multiple receiving address thing. So definitely be on the lookout. They also have another plan. I don't think I can say much, and I have no idea when it's coming out, but it's something similar that will basically allow you to organize your accounts better. I don't even know the full details. That's basically all I was told. But yeah, that's still in the plans. As far as like to ensure full privacy, just know the blockchain is a digital public ledger. Everything you do on the blockchain is permanently recorded and anyone can view it. So just because you're using different addresses doesn't mean that um, that's not still public information. What's the best exchange to use? It really depends on a lot of things like where you live and what cryptocurrencies you need to trade. I use Kraken. That's what I like to use. Scott says, "So is Jay Claver bad?" No, that's not. I'm not saying Jay Claver is bad. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he's about. All I know is that he those videos where you see him saying, "Don't use a cold wallet, use a Web3 wallet." That's not actually Jake saying that. That's deep fake AI. A scammer used his image, his likeness, and his voice to create fake messages to try to scam you. That's all I'm saying. Do you prefer holding KYC or non KYC crypto? I don't know what you mean. Crypto isn't KYC. The platforms that you go through to acquire crypto are what require KYC. Hello, I purchased Tangem Wallet from your link, but the wallet was sent from Utah in the USA. Why is this correct? Yeah, of course. So Tangem has warehouses all over the world because they ship worldwide. By having warehouses in different locations in different countries, it allows them to get the products to people quicker. So you must be in the US. Their warehouse is in Utah in the US. I think that's their only warehouse in the US. So that was the closest warehouse to you. So that's why I shipped from Utah. All Jake Claver talks about is Web3 and his business habits Web3. Again, Web3 is like a buzzword that people use to appeal to retail who thinks Web3 is a real thing. I've even used it in the past and have referred to it, but you have to know Web3 doesn't actually exist. The real term for Web3 in its current state is blockchain technology. The blockchain is a decentralized public ledger, and basically Web3 is the new version of the internet, where everything is tokenized, everything is decentralized. No one has control over what you're doing. That's kind of like what Web3 is. But again, Web3 is just vaporware; it doesn't actually exist. AJ says, "What's the ring for?" The ring works exactly the same as the cards. So this is a cold wallet. It's no different than the actual card. Just instead of scanning the card to do transactions, I can take the ring off my finger and scan it, and it works exactly the same. So it's just a more discreet option to manage your crypto. Kiki says, "Do you know when Tangem credit card's coming out?" Just to be clear, it's not a credit card. It's a self-custodial debit card. And last I heard, 6 months ago, is that it's coming out by the end of the year. But you have to realize that's only in select countries, in Europe, I think, and the UK, I believe. Richard said, What's the best way to store your seed phrase?" So, is in terms of a physical copy of your seed phrase, I use a metal seed phrase plate, which I may have put mine away. But yeah, if you just oh no, I have it right here. So like what I use to store my seed phrases is a metal seed phrase plate. This is 304 stainless steel. It's fireproof, corrosion resistant, all that stuff. And then obviously you need to find a safe place to keep this in, wherever that may be. But that's how I store physical copies of my seed phrase. You can buy them on Amazon, and obviously it comes with the tools you need to import your seed phrase. You don't like tell anyone your seed phrase. But the one that I get is on Keystone. If you just type in the Keystone, this is the Keystone Tablet Plus. So this supports a 24-word seed phrase or two 12-word seed phrases. But yeah, Keystone Tablet Plus, it'll take you to Keystone's website. And then if you use the code Cyberskrilla, all one word, you'll get some kind of discount. I don't know what it is. Alex says, "I just use your promo code to get the Tangem ring." Cool. Alex, is this your first cold wallet? First Tangem wallet? I'm curious to know. Starbase Texas says, "I wish the Tangem ring would monitor my sleep, pulse, and oxygen. That would be pretty interesting. That would be the true one and all in one ring if it did that." Karen says, "Do you work for Tangem and are they hiring?" I do not work for Tangem. I work for myself. I have my own business. As far as if Tangem is hiring, I have no idea. Can the seed phrase be set offline with the new 2.0 cards? Yeah, of course. Yeah, the video that I just published the other day on the channel, like how to set up your Tangem wallet offline, that video shows you that exact process. All the current cards that are being sold allow you to set it up offline. I saw your video on checking versus savings cold wallets. Can you talk more about that? I want to try a system like that for security. So a savings cold wallet, when I say that, that's just your main cold wallet where the majority of your crypto portfolio is stored. What I mean by a checking cold wallet, if you're interacting with any DeFi platforms or decentralized applications like decentralized exchanges, you don't want to connect your main cold wallet to that because you risk signing you basically can turn your cold wallet into a hot wallet. So you want to keep your cold wallet completely separate by not connecting it to third-party websites and signing transactions on those websites. So when I talk about a checking wallet, all I'm saying is use a wallet that's not your cold wallet for those risky transactions when you're connecting to third-party websites. To do this, you can use just another cold wallet if you want to, or you can just use a hot wallet. But the thing with your checking wallet is you only keep the amount of crypto in that wallet that you need for whatever you're doing, whether you're swapping one crypto for another or mining crypto, whatever it is. You only put enough in your checking wallet to get the transaction done. And once you have secured whatever it is you're doing, you transfer it back to your cold wallet. And again, it's just all about reducing risk. Can you go over setting up additional wallets with the 25th word in a seed phrase in Tangem? So I have a video on how to do this. If you just type in how to set up passphrase in Tangem wallet, it's from one of my old channels. If you go and watch that video, but again, it's to set up a passphrase, like to create a new passphrase in Tangem is a slight process, but I can explain it very quickly. When you get your new set of Tangem cards, you'll set it up with a seed phrase. Once you've written down your seed phrase and the setup process is complete, you go into the settings, you factory reset all of your cards. So you're erasing the keys from the card back to factory settings. And then you go and you set up the wallet again. This time you import that seed phrase that you just created. And below that, below the field where it has you input your seed phrase, there is a field for your passphrase. Now to create a new passphrase, you just enter in whatever you want it to be along with your seed phrase. And then you complete the setup process, and now you have a seed phrase, passphrase wallet. That's how you do it. Gimme 6010 says, I hate Tangem, has no passphrase feature. It does have a passphrase. So, yeah. Jason says that he has the ring, wears it regularly, and it looks like new, very durable. Yeah, 100%. This is made from some ceramic material. And like I said, I wear this one daily too. And I mean, it could use like a quick, like, buff, but there's no scratches on this thing. So yeah, it is. I would agree with you, Jason. That's been my experience as well. Web3 is basically a hot wall. They're trying to, Web3 is what you meant to say, is basically a hot wall. They're trying to get you to get it on the internet so they can steal it from you. Yeah, exactly. When you see those videos that are saying, stop using cold wallets, use a Web3 wallet, their ultimate goal is to get you to reveal your seed phrase so they can steal your crypto. Exactly. Okay. AJ's asking, is it best to buy a 2-card system or why buy the 3-card? So the reason Tangem offers a 2-pack and a 3-pack is because you can set up the wallet without a seed phrase. If you choose that option, the seedless option, that means your only backups, the only way to access your crypto is with your cards. So obviously you would want more than one card because that means if you lost your one card, you would never be able to access your crypto again. So that's why it comes with multiple cards. That said, you really only need a 3-card set. If you're just buying one set, you really only need the 3-card pack if you plan on using your Tangem wallet without a seed phrase. That way you have more backups. But if you plan to use it with a seed phrase where you write down the 24 words, which is your key to your crypto, then you can get away with using a 2-pack of cards, because even if you lost both cards, you have your seed phrase still, which you can import into any wallet and access your crypto. So it really depends. Again, AJ, how you're going to use your wallet. No seed phrase, get the 3-pack. If you plan on using a seed phrase, you can get away with the 2-pack if you want to. Personally, I'd always buy the 3-packs because I just like having the extra card anyways. But yeah. What if someone finds my card? They can install the app, and then when they tap the card, it will ask for the access code. After 3 times incorrect code, the card is blocked. No, that's not. I mean, that's pretty much how it works, but it doesn't block them after 3 failed attempts. It basically just increases the time, because when you scan a Tangem card, it takes a couple seconds. So each failed attempt, it increases the time that they have to wait to try again, with the maximum of 45 seconds. So this limits the number of attempts they can make. So yeah, if you're using a truly random password, no one will ever be able to guess your access code. Mr. Felix says, thoughts on multi-sig? Personally, unless you're some kind of large business who manages millions or billions of dollars worth of funds, and you have multiple people involved, and you have customers' assets under your control, unless you're running something like that, I think multi-sig is completely unnecessary. I think it's complex, and I think it introduces third-party risk and vulnerabilities. One example is the Bybit CEO. He was using the safe multi-sig option with his Ledger wallet, and I believe that the safe the website that they used for the multi-sig was compromised, or somehow there was some kind of malicious code injected, and he ended up signing the crypto away. So I think for most people, multi-sig just introduces unnecessary complexities. If your goal is to secure your crypto, just get a cold wallet, use it the right way. That's all you need to do. That's my thoughts on multi-sig. Do I use multi-sig? No, I don't. Donna says, or asks, if you're using Tangem strictly as a vault, would a seed phrase still be needed? I set up without a seed phrase. Now I'm questioning my decision. Kind of like what I was talking about earlier, Donna. All that means is that if you were to lose all your Tangem cards like at the same time for some reason, which is unlikely, but if you were to lose all your cards, you would lose access to all your crypto. Because if you don't have your seed phrase, that means you don't actually know your key. Remember, the key is stored internally in the card. So using a seed phrase, it allows you to have a physical copy of your key. So that way, even if you lose your cards or they get damaged for some reason, you'll still be able to access your crypto by simply purchasing another wallet. Or it doesn't even have to be Tangem. It could be another brand or even a hot wallet if you needed to. But basically, a seed phrase is just a physical backup of your keys. Whereas if you don't use a seed phrase, you're relying solely on the cards to be your backup. So that's the main difference, and that's why I generally choose to use a seed phrase. Like in terms of security, though, your setup is extremely secure without a seed phrase. It just comes to like if you ever need to recover your crypto, as long as you can keep your cards intact, then you'll be good. Let's see. I purchased a Tangem wallet from your link, but the wallet is sent from Utah. I've already answered that question. Shout out to Tangem is in the building. Well, I guess this is a while ago. We're still, oh my goodness, we're about an hour behind on the chat. But shout out to Tangem for showing up. I didn't realize it was so late already. Bitcoin is down. We're at $107,933. Oh, it's all good though. All good though. Let me take my daily screenshot here. Alrighty. Exactly. Karen, how do you test wallets for a living? Well, you buy a bunch of wallets, you test them, and you share your experience with other people. That's how you do it. So if I bought the 2 card packs, I'm not sure what your question is. Teach me how to Doge. Would you recommend a safety box to store the cold wallets? Are you talking about like a safety box at the bank? If that's the case, probably not. If you want like your own personal safety box, I don't think it's a terrible idea. Maybe like a safe or something you could bury underground. Even depends how crazy you want to get. You can get a safe that you bolt to your floor. You could get a safe that's that you put into your floor, so it lives under your floor. I don't know. However you want to do it. There's no right or wrong way. Wouldn't it be wiser to diversify custody with a different cold wallet like Trezor or Ledger? Not necessarily. You have to understand that again, the number one risk in crypto is user error. Um, there has been no cases of someone losing their crypto because they chose the less secure wallet, right, or anything like that. That's just the reality of it. No cold wallets, virtually no cold wallets have been hacked. The very few cases that have been hacked, which was a Trezor one back in early like 2020, Cold Card and Keep Key. Those are the only reported actual hacks of hardware wallets, and those were all physical hacks, meaning the hacker had to have the wallet physically in their hand, and they used tools to basically access it. Um, and I guess all that to say is if you're using a wallet like Tangem and that wallet is easy for you to use and it makes sense using it, you enjoy using it. It's kind of like why fix it if it's not broken, right? Um, there's nothing wrong with using a different wallet. I don't I don't think that's bad either. But personally, I think just making the experience as simple as possible is a security feature in itself. So if you have a bunch of different wallets that require a bunch of different apps, that could get confusing. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying for some people that might be confusing. Whereas if you just use the same wallet, you only need that one app, you only need the one wallet or the one wallet brand, you know how it works. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to consider. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to like diversify your physical cold wallet. MPC says, apparently I forgot my access code. What is the process of resetting it? I went over that process. I guess it's been a while now, so I could probably try it again. So let's see, where's the full screen here? That's not the full screen. I guess that's better. So to reset your access code, again, you have to have the feature enabled in the Tangem app, which you probably do if you've never changed it. But basically, you go to settings, then you select your wallet, and then you go to device settings. Let me check something real quick. And then it's saying, you need to scan the card or ring that you're going to change the access code for, because remember, when you go to do this process, it's only going to change the access code for the card that you scan. It won't change it for all the cards. So pick up the card that you want to change it for. Then we got to unlock it. Then I'll scan the card. And then as long as you have the access code recovery already enabled, you'll be able to change your access code by tapping change access code, use your biometrics, and then you can just set your new access code. If you're trying to do this, if you want the access code to be the same across all your cards, you'll have to do this process for each card individually. So that's how you do it. Someone said, so are they hackable? Nope. Again, no cold wallets have really ever been hacked. That's the reason people use cold wallets. Tangem has definitely never been hacked. If someone finds a card when they tap on their phone, will it show my funds? Nope. If the first card is a wallet, the second is a backup, or what? Don't get it twisted here. Like, all the cards are the same. When you set up your wallet, whether it's a 2 or a 3 pack, all cards work exactly the same. They manage the same crypto. The app identifies one as a primary card and then the other ones as a backup, but that's just an identifier in the app. It doesn't actually mean anything in the real world. They all work the same. They can all be used to transact for your specific accounts. So yeah. Can you receive NFTs in Tangem Wallet, or in other words, see your NFTs in Tangem Wallet? Yes, you can. They actually recently added the feature to see to manage your NFTs natively in the Tangem app, and I'll also show you how you can enable that. I don't have any NFTs in this wallet, but you can view them all. So let me just go all the way back here. So to enable the NFT feature, you go to settings, then you select the specific wallet you have your NFTs in, and then you can see down here at the bottom it says NFT. You just enable that, and that's all you have to do. And then, if once you send NFTs to your wallet, you can see there's an NFT collections tab now. So you can. This is where you receive your NFTs and all that stuff. As you can see, I don't have any NFTs here, but I would tap receive, and then you could select whatever network the NFT is on. It looks like Ethereum and Solana are the two default here. But once you did have NFTs in your wallet, they would show up on this screen, and then you could send, receive, and all that good stuff. So good question. Looks like we have our first super chat from um, GLAS Conference. Thank you so much for your donation. That's super generous of you. Why did you get into this space with crypto and cold wallets? Yeah, for sure. So I actually got into crypto in 2020. I wasn't super early like a lot of people were. I got into crypto in 2020 because of Gary Vee. He's he started talking about NFTs in 2020, and that's when I really started to look into crypto. And I bought Ethereum and some other like Link and some other random crap, um, not just in preparation to buy the NFTs he was launching, but just to like as an investment. I was like, okay, this is cool. I didn't really think much about crypto, so that's what originally got me into it. But early on, like just a few months after I got into crypto, I realized that there was, and this was early 2021. I realized that there were not a lot of like helpful tutorials or like really anything talking about the fundamentals of crypto and how to navigate the space safely. Which I was like learning it all myself, and I was like, what the heck? Why can't I find anyone trustworthy to help me set up my freaking Ledger wallet, right? Like it was just crazy. So what I did, I had a travel website at the time where I blogged. I I had a website that talked about traveling to Mexico, and so I helped people like navigate traveling throughout Mexico. So I had experience writing blogs. So what I decided to do in February of 2021 is I bought the domain cyberskrilla.com, and I started writing articles about blockchain technology, NFTs, cold wallets, and just how to use wallets and navigate the space. So that's what really got me into it. By the end of 2021, Cyberskrilla had grown to be one of the most trusted websites regarding NFTs and even hardware wallets. I think at its prime, it was getting 100,000 visitors. I think it was per month, which was huge. It was huge for me, especially considering the competition. So I was ranking, number one on Google and things like that. But eventually that died down. But then I started actually a few years later. I actually worked for Gary Vee, writing for his company, 1:37 p.m. And I did the same thing. I wrote articles about blockchain technology, how it works, how to navigate it. Um, and that lasted about 6 months. And then I started going heavy on YouTube. And then once I figured out that I could reach way more people on YouTube and help way more people versus like blogging or something, I just went all in. And yeah, I haven't stopped since. So that's how we got here. That's like the short version of the story. It was a lot. There's a lot more struggle throughout for sure. Like at my lowest point, um, when I was in between jobs, I was down to like $300 in like to my name. Um, and yeah, things got pretty rough. I was doing DoorDash just to pay rent. I did that for a couple months until I finally figured out YouTube and my channel got monetized and things like that. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for the question. It's fun to talk about that. Uh, shoot. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, back to the questions. How do you reset the networks if you pick the wrong network for a specific crypto transfer on board? Are you talking about like just how to add a new network to the wallet, or what do you mean? Like if you're trying to add the correct network to your wallet, you just go to settings, manage tokens, and then you would disable the one that was a wrong one and enable the right one. If you actually sent crypto on the wrong network, you may have lost that crypto. If you send crypto from a crypto exchange to your cold wallet, though, you would need to reach out to the crypto exchange and see if they could recover your funds. Oftentimes they can. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but those are the two scenarios that came to mind. Jose says, "What happened if you lost the Tangem wallet? If you lose one of the cards, nothing really happens. No one will be able to access it because they don't have your unique access code. um, Other than that, you'd be down one card. If you lost all your cards and you didn't have a seed phrase, you would lose access to all your crypto, which is why I like to know my seed phrase and why I choose the seed phrase option. Do you get charged to move assets from one Tangent wallet to another? So you have to understand, cold wallets aren't charging fees to transfer crypto. That's not something that has nothing to do with the cold wallet, really. All transfer fees are determined by the blockchain network that your crypto lives on and how congested or how busy the network is at the time of your transaction. So if you're sending, crypto on Solana from one Tangent wallet to another, you're going to pay, like 3 cents. If you're sending it from on Ethereum, it's going to be more like $5 or $6. It just depends. Man of Truth, is Tangem enabling multiple Bitcoin receiving addresses anytime soon? Again, it's still in their plans. The last I heard, they were trying to have it by the end of the year, but that's all the info I have. I reached out to them. Recently. I haven't heard back if they still plan to do this soon. So I'll definitely let everyone know the moment I find out. You'll know just as soon as I do. Crypto Roger just bought a 6-pack with using the link in the description. Awesome. Thank you, Crypto Roger. And yeah, good job. I mean, you're on your way to secure your crypto and sleep better at night, which is what we all want. So I'm happy for you. That said, I will bring this up again. The Tangem Wallet, they're having one of their biggest sales of the year that I've seen since I've known about Tangem. And it's buy one, get one 60% off. I know it says 50% off here, but the link in the description will add my discount code, which gets you an additional 10% off. So it's what you see here. You get 6 cards total, and you can change up the design of the card that you get if you want different designs. They have one of my favorite ones is, even though it's kind of loud, it doesn't like not discreet or anything, but I love the Bitcoin design. But yeah, you're getting six cards for $97. So you're saving $40 plus you get free shipping. So you're getting 3 cold wallets for $97 because you only need 2 Tangem wallets to set up. Sorry, you only need 2 Tangem cards to set up 1 Tangem wallet. So with this deal, you're getting 6 cards, which means you can set up 3 separate wallets, which allows you to diversify your crypto and manage it all in a single app. So it's super convenient. Also, that link in the description gets you 25% off the Tangem ring. The ring works exactly like the cards, and it comes with 2 cards. So yeah, and free shipping with that. If you're not big on getting multiple sets of cards or the ring, then that link in the description will also just get you 10% off the 3-pack or the 2-pack, depending on what you need. So yeah, super good deal right now. It says on the website it goes till November 6th, but Tangem told me it goes to the 7th. So I believe it will go to the 7th, but you have at least until November 6th. So you still got 7 days at least. James says, what's cheaper, Coinbase or Tangem for buying crypto? I thought you just said that Tangem was cheaper. I don't know. I don't use Coinbase anymore, so I wouldn't know. I'm still unable to create a Taproot address using the latest Tangem app feedback to Tangem, perhaps. I'll definitely look into it. Ken says, I tried to do a test run XRP swap to RL USD. Tangem wouldn't allow it. Yeah, you have to understand that again. Tangem just they partner with third-party exchanges. So if that exchange doesn't offer a certain pair, then you won't be able to swap it. I mean, that's the case for any crypto exchange. So you'll just have to use a different crypto exchange. Ty is asking Tangem Wallet seed phrase or seedless setup. Again, I always choose a seed phrase. I like to know my seed phrase so that I am not solely bound to my Tangem cards. In case something ever happened, like I lost my set of cards, I like to know my seed phrase so that I can always recover my crypto in an emergency. I already answered this question. If you set up your first card and you have the second card, what's the second card for? It's just an additional card. It works exactly the same. It's just in case you lose one card or one card gets damaged, you have an extra one. Ford says, if I end up with a small amount and there's a minimum to move to cold wallet, what do I do to get the rest out? Unfortunately, you know, if you don't have the minimum, you're not able to move it. So it's kind of just you can sell it maybe and just cash it out. You can just leave it there. I don't know. It's kind of like a weird thing with crypto. It's kind of dumb. Crypto Roger says always send a couple dollars before sending your whole bag. Yeah, I think that's good. A good tip if you're new to crypto. I don't personally do that anymore because I've been doing this for years, which isn't to say I'm above making mistakes. I could definitely still make a mistake, but I'm just more confident in what I need to check and ensure make sure that the address I'm sending to is the right address, that I'm sending it on the right network. Like all that to me right now is like riding a bike. So I'm not sending multiple transactions before I send everything. But definitely, if you're new to crypto, that's always a good idea. The Tangem app provides clear, plain language descriptions of what kind of transaction is being signed. Yeah, that's true. It does. Can we use one Tangem wallet for 3 different exchanges? You have to understand that Tangem and exchanges are completely separate. They have nothing to do with each other. Yeah, that it doesn't matter. You can send crypto from any exchange that allows you to send crypto. You can send it to your Tangem wallet. If you used 100 different exchanges, you can send crypto from all of them to your Tangem wallet. There's no limitations. They're not like directly compatible or incompatible. They're 2 completely separate things. That's like saying, like, well, can I use Yahoo Mail? Can I send an email to someone who uses Gmail? It doesn't really matter. Because the core functionality of sending crypto or of sending an email, it's all the same. Tab Nebraska says, you stand out in your videos. They are very helpful. You are providing us a service. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, and glad that they're valuable. That said, I need to take a moment and plug in my computer because it's going to die. So bear with me. Okay, now we're plugged in. Jim says the best way to keep diversified Tangems straight is to get sets that look different. They offer so many designs, and the app will show each wallet as the cards actually look. So Tangem has done the labeling. That's a good point, Jim. Thank you for pointing that out. If you don't know what Jim's talking about, he's saying if you buy multiple sets of Tangem wallet, you can use the different designs to basically be identifiers for when you diversify your crypto. So like the black cards, that could be your XRP wallet. And then the Bitcoin ones, that could be your Bitcoin wallet. And then even when you go in the app, it actually shows the design of the cards. So like it'll show these are black cards. It'll show these are the Bitcoin cards. So that's a good point. That's another way that you can basically organize your diversified crypto portfolio. So thank you, Jim. It's a good point. Thank you for the great info. Absolutely. I'm happy to help. Can the additional seed phrase be set offline? I don't know what you mean by additional seed phrase, but you can set up and import your seed phrase offline. Yes. This person is claiming Tangem drained their crypto, which is completely false. Um, if you want to actually share what happened, maybe we could figure out what happened. Um, but yeah, I know for a fact that Tangem did not drain your crypto. So uh, let's see. Okay. Divine Love says, when you're staking in the Tangem app, is your crypto technically a hot wallet? No, it's not. But your crypto is locked up in the staking platform. So you're actually delegating your crypto to whatever platform is staking it. So just know you don't technically have access to that crypto until you unstake it. And then you have to wait for the unbonding period, which, it just, well, depends on what network you're using. But like with Solana, it's like 3 days. So it doesn't turn your wallet hot, but you're not technically in control of your crypto once it's locked up in a contract. Okay. Transferring from one Tangem to another, is that making a hot wallet? No. Transferring crypto, guys, that's not a risk. There's no risk in transferring crypto in terms of making your wallet hot. Like a lot of people are confused. They say, oh, I transfer from, when I send crypto from the exchange, I send it to my hot wallet first before sending it to my cold wallet, or I send it to one cold wallet first before sending it to my main cold wallet. That's does nothing for you. All that does is waste fees on unnecessary transactions. There's no risk in just sending your crypto straight from the exchange to your cold wallet or from one cold wallet to another cold wallet. You're not making it hot. All that happens on the blockchain. So, do you know when Tangem Pay is coming out? Again, the last we heard is end of the year in select countries. If you change from one wallet to another, does it make it a hot wallet? What makes Tangem a hot wallet? No, again, that doesn't make it a hot wallet. The only thing that would make any cold wallet a hot wallet, one, is if you took the seed phrase from your cold wallet and entered it into a hot wallet app where your seed phrase is then stored locally on your internet connected device in the software. That makes it a hot wallet. The other thing that makes it a hot wallet is if you connect your wallet to a third-party platform, something like a decentralized exchange, and you sign a transaction there. This really only happens on chains like Ethereum that have smart contracts. You sign that transaction. It asks for a spend approval. You give unlimited spend approval, which basically gives that specific contract, that specific platform, access to that account in your wallet indefinitely. Those are the two ways you can make your cold wallet hot. So really, if you want to keep your crypto secure, you just don't do those two things and use a cold wallet. That's sums it up. That's crypto security 101. Kiki says, I can't buy crypto on Tangem. I don't know what happened. I bought it one time and was never allowed to buy again. Yeah, again, Tangem just partners with these third-party exchanges. So it could be, depending on your location, where you live, the exchange might not be allowed to operate in your area. That's probably one of the main reasons. If someone finds your card, again, nothing happens. They don't know your access code, so they can't access it. Donna says, can we have a discussion about taxes and Tangem, please? I'm a senior learning and thank you for what you do. You explain and show for those visual learners out there. Donna, so yeah, when it comes to taxes and cold wallets, you are completely responsible for that. The cold wallet doesn't provide you with any of that information. They don't even really have the infrastructure to do that. So that is all up to you. Fortunately, the way crypto works is everything is recorded on the blockchain. That's where crypto lives. The blockchain is literally a digital public ledger of transactions. So every single thing you do with your wallet is permanently recorded, which means all you have to do is use a crypto tax software to basically aggregate all that data. You'll have to hook up your crypto exchanges. You'll have to input your wallet's receiving addresses. That way it has all the data to collect. But once you import all that data, which doesn't take that long, it'll go and gather everything for you. Depending how many transactions you have, it could take, a minute or two. And then it lists it all out. After that, if there's any discrepancies, you'll have to go through those manually and adjust them and mark things, whatever they were. I sold this. This was an airdrop, whatever it is. And then after you do that, it will generate the documents for you that you'll file with the rest of your taxes. Now you're probably wondering, where do you go to do that? Well, there's a few different crypto tax softwares. I've used Zen Ledger in the past. I currently use coinledger.io. And then there's also Coinly, lots of different options. But if you want to see exactly how to do this and how I do it, just type it on YouTube, how to file crypto taxes. My video will pop up. It'll be number 1 or number 2. Watch that video and I walk you through exactly like how to do it with Tangem and other wallets and exchanges. Also, if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, you can hire someone through their platform that will basically do it for you. So you have a lot of options. But just know you are responsible for all that. I appreciate everyone helping each other out in the chat and in the comments. That's what I love to see. We have a lot of knowledgeable people on this channel, people that are more knowledgeable than me. So yeah, I really appreciate it when people pitch in and provide any knowledge they have and just share their feedback, which is valuable in itself. So thank you. Albert says, do you use a passphrase on your wallet and do you recommend it? I use a passphrase on certain wallets, and yes, I would recommend it if you're looking for maximum security or if you just want to diversify your crypto. John says that Merlin is a great way to track all your exchanges to keep safe and have the taxes and all that track and exit strategies. It's a great product. I know the owner and CEO, Coach JV, and the 3T Warrior Academy. Yeah, so I'm aware of Coach JV and the 3T Warrior Academy. I haven't used Merlin, so I can't vouch for it, but I'll definitely look into that. Thank you, John. Pretty cool. I'd be curious to know how you know Coach JV. Is it just through his academy, or do you know him personally? Definitely would be curious to know more. I will comment on this. Crypto Roger says you only need to verify the first 3 or 4 and the last 4 of your address, generally speaking. That's actually not true. So when scammers or attackers, when they send you, when they do the address poisoning attack, which is they send crypto to your wallet address, they can actually generate a receiving address that has the same, the first 3 or 4 digits as your address. And their hope is that instead of clicking the receive button in your wallet, that you'll copy the address from your recent transaction history and accidentally send it to their wallet. So no, that's not true. You should not just check the first and last 3 or 4 digits of your receiving address when you're sending crypto. You need to verify every single digit if you want to be as sure as possible. I'm sorry I got here late. Did you already explain why you have 8 wallets? Yeah, so I explained. So I have 8 wallets. I don't use them all like consecutively. I have about 4 wallets set up that I use on a regular basis. The reason I have 4 wallets is because it's a way to diversify my crypto. Diversifying your crypto is the best way to spread your risk. That way, if you make a mistake and you lose crypto in one wallet, you don't lose all of your crypto. So it's best to diversify your crypto if you're in a position where that is right for you. The reason I have 8 wallets is because I'm just kind of a nerd and I like collecting cold wallets. I also like the different designs Tangem has. And I just like seeing how many wallets I can add to the app and play around with to see if anything kind of weird happens. Nothing weird has happened yet. Aside from that, I also have if anyone in my family or my close friends ever decides to dive into crypto, I'm going to get them set up with a Tangem wallet and I'll already have cards that they can use. So that's why I have 8 wallets. Now, what I said at the beginning of this live stream is no one actually, I won't say no one, but most people probably don't need 8 cold wallets, but it is beneficial to have at least 2 or 3, or at least 2 or 3 seed phrases so that you can diversify your crypto if you're in a position where that makes sense. Richard said ideas: seed phrase, long-term storage in a shoebox, a mattress, a bank vault. I mean, if that works for you, I wouldn't store my seed phrase in any of those places. I don't think those are like secure places. A bank vault, maybe, but if you're going to do that, that is a risk to have your entire seed phrase in the vault, because you never know who would access that, like someone at the bank. So if you were to store your seed phrase in a bank vault, you'd want to you'd want to split it up and store it in separate banks. So you'd have like, 6 words in one bank and 6 words in another, something like that. As far as a shoebox and a mattress, that's not really a secure place or even like a good hiding place. That's, pretty old school. Everyone knows, you know, you keep the good stuff under the mattress, right? So probably not something I would do. Crypto Roger says at the end of the session, how about playing the piano for us? You probably don't want to hear me play the keyboard. I'm not like I can't read music or anything. I just like to jump on there and freestyle. Um, I love music, but I'm not like a piano player by any means. Like if you asked me to play a song, like a song that you recommended, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd probably be able to do parts of it because I have like I can just listen to something and I can tell the different notes, but yeah, it'd be rough. G Vegas says, "Do you use the seed phrase on all your Tangem cards?" I do. The only Tangem card that I don't use my seed phrase on is the first set of Tangem wallets that I ever got, which was the 1.0 versions. This one doesn't allow you to use a seed phrase, which is why I didn't use a seed phrase. But on all my other sets, yes. That said, I still use this seedless wallet though. I still actively use this. So I'm not scared to use a seedless wallet. It's just now that I have a choice, I choose to use a seed phrase. Already answered this. Will Tangem enable multiple receiving addresses in the near future? Last I heard, they still plan on it. James is asking the lifespan of the card. The Tangem wallets and the ring are designed to last a minimum of 25 years, which is why Tangem offers a 25-year product replacement warranty. What is your thought about SafePal X1 wallet? It's a super basic wallet, one of the most affordable and cheapest made wallets on the market. Doesn't mean it's not secure. I'm just saying it's basically like a modified calculator. If you want to know like all the details, just type in SafePal X1 review on YouTube, and I have my full review listed. That said, I want to let everyone know that I have a bunch of wallets that I'm going to be reviewing here on the channel soon. I've got the Trezor Safe 7, I've got Rider 1, I've got the SafePal S1 and the SafePal S1 Pro, and the One Key Classic 1S. So I plan to review all those very soon. Should I have a hot wallet, or is it okay to use my cold wallet and transfer directly to a crypto exchange, vice versa? Again, I don't know where everyone's getting this idea that you need a middleman wallet to do transfers. You don't. You can safely send and receive crypto directly from your cold wallet without putting it at risk. You would want a hot wallet if you're interacting with DeFi platforms, like you're connecting the wallet to a website where you're claiming an airdrop or you're swapping crypto through your wallet. Then yes, you'd want to use a hot wallet. But simply transferring crypto does not require a middleman kind of wallet. It's unnecessary. Is it so that one has to transfer your crypto from the exchange wallet of that exchange and then transfer send your cold wallet? Just got my 10 cards and trying to set it up. I don't know exactly what you mean, but again, you can send crypto directly from the exchange straight to your cold wallet. Again, so should a hot wallet be used or just bypassed and use only a cold wallet? Use your cold wallet to store your crypto portfolio. If you're interacting with any platforms like mining crypto, buying NFTs, swapping crypto on a decentralized exchange, don't use your main cold wallet for that. You can use a hot wallet. You could use another cold wallet. Do not use your main cold wallet. If you are doing any of those things, you risk signing a malicious transaction that could put your wallet at risk. That's why you might want to just use a hot wallet. John said, "You do a great job." I appreciate that, John. But what if the company Tangem goes bankrupt? With the app stay in the service, or how do we be able to access our crypto otherwise? So it's a really common question, John, and it's a good question. Tangem has a full article about this. If you ask that same question on Google, you can definitely read their side of it. But you have to understand that a couple things. One, if you have your seed phrase, it doesn't matter if the company goes bankrupt. because the seed phrase is ultimately what gives you access to your crypto. So you can take your seed phrase and import it into any brand wallet and access your crypto. So that's the one most important thing to recognize. The second thing, though, if you're using your Tangem wallet as a seedless wallet, even if Tangem goes bankrupt or they shut down tomorrow, the core functions of the Tangem app, which has been proven by some random Tangem user who was a developer, he somehow turned off like the Tangem APIs. Um, but yeah, it's on Reddit somewhere if you want to find it. I don't even know where you would look. I just came across it one day. Anyways, if if Tangem were to shut down, its core functions being sending and receiving crypto don't rely on Tangem servers. Those functions rely on the blockchain networks themselves. So even if Tangem shuts down, you'll still be able to send and receive crypto using your Tangem wallet. As far as the app is concerned, the app doesn't magically disappear from your phone if the company shuts down tomorrow. It's still on your phone. Additionally, the Tangem app is 100% open source, so it can technically be rebuilt by anyone who has the skills to do that. I mean, at this point, you can use AI to build out the app for you as long as you have all the code, which you do. It's available on GitHub. Just type in Tangem GitHub. They have the iOS code there as well as the Android code, and everything you need to build out the app. So I'm trying to move coin off of Coinbase. The website is spinning. No issues with Kraken. Yeah, it might just be an issue with Coinbase. I think Amazon Web Services is down again or something. Also, important note, everyone. I've been getting emails from Kraken. They are doing a scheduled maintenance on November 1st. So the exchange will be down for like 8 hours. And I think some other exchanges are doing it too. So no, November 1st is the day. And it's kind of interesting that it's on November 1st. I'm wondering what's going to happen on November 1st. Because I feel like a few exchanges are going to be temporarily down. So if you're trying to get your crypto off the exchange, maybe do it before November 1st. Does Tangem allow a watch-only account where your transactions show on the wallet that is not deactivated, but you control the private key? Well, I mean, the Tangem app is kind of the watch-only account because you can open up your Tangem app without needing the card if you have it set up that way, and you can just view your portfolio. You can't transact without the card. So it virtually is a view-only app unless you have the card to make transactions. Just upgraded you to the bell notification. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for all the help and information. Absolutely. Happy to help. Is Trust Wallet safe to buy and sell, moving crypto to a cold wallet? Yeah, you can buy and sell crypto on Trust Wallet if you want to. It sounds like you're going to do it right. You're going to buy it and then instantly move it to your cold wallet. That would be the right choice. Mr. Visionary says, just want to say you are great and thank you. Your video helped with the wallet. Super easy. Just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for your kind words and for watching the channel. For 2 sets of 3 cards, does this mean you will need to carry at least 1 card from the first wallet and 1 card from the second wallet and know which one is which for each wallet? If that's how you want to do it, I don't know if you necessarily want to walk around with all the cards for your wallet, but if you want to do that, then yeah, that would be the only way. You can't transact unless you have the specific card for that wallet. Correction, do you prefer KYC or non-KYC methods of buying crypto and why? I've never used the non-KYC method. I haven't found any that have been worth even trying. So I use centralized crypto exchanges like everyone else. Brandon says, literally bought my Trezor Safe 5 the day before the Safe 7 reveal. Did I goof up? No, the Safe lineup, the Safe 3, the Safe 5, and now the Safe 7, they're all great wallets. They're all secure. I still use my Safe 3, and I also have the Safe 5, but I use my Safe 3 mainly. Still a solid wallet, still going to protect your crypto. The Safe 7 is super cool. It's got the larger screen and everything, but you definitely didn't goof up. Glass Conference says 3 cards minus 1 wallet or equals 1 wallet. Yes, 3 cards equals 1 wallet, but so does 2 cards. You need a minimum of 2 cards to set up one Tangem wallet, a maximum of 3. Eric says, do you use a decentralized exchange? What do you use it for? Absolutely. So if you ever want to get into a crypto early, like meme coins, which meme coins are dangerous, but if that's something you're into, you need to be using a decentralized exchange, because if you want to truly be early to something, the only way to be early is you buy it directly from the blockchain, basically. Because by time cryptocurrencies get listed on exchanges, especially tier 1 exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken, it's already too late. You've already missed the massive pump, right? Like that 100x that you're looking for. The only way to get that is is to buy it on a decentralized exchange before it ever hits the centralized exchanges. So that's one reason that I use decentralized exchanges. Another reason is just because sometimes I have crypto sitting on my wallet that I need swapped, and I'll just use a decentralized exchange to swap it. That way I don't have to send it to a centralized exchange. So for swapping and buying, the same as a centralized exchange, but the fees are generally cheaper on a decentralized exchange, and they have more cryptocurrencies to choose from. Because again, you can buy directly you're basically buying from other people, versus on a centralized exchange you're buying, when it's already too late. Do you use an offline device phone for Tangem? I've been considering an offline vault like that. Well, you can't do that because you need the Tangem app to manage your crypto. So no, you can set it up offline, but you can't use the Tangem wallet without the app being connected to the internet. This is the case for any cold wallet. Because cold wallets are offline, the only way they can communicate with the blockchain where your crypto lives to confirm transactions is with a middleman. That middleman is the app. So the blockchain, or that, when you initiate a transaction with your cold wallet app, it requests it from the blockchain. The blockchain then creates an unsigned or a partially signed transaction, sends it to the cold wallet app. Then that sends the unsigned transaction to your cold wallet. You then confirm that transaction in the secure environment of your cold wallet offline, and then your cold wallet then broadcasts it back to the app, or it's then sent back to the blockchain and confirmed. So you still need the internet to use cold wallets, because crypto lives on the internet. The important thing with cold wallets is that your keys are stored offline. That's how you protect your crypto. In the case of Tangem, the keys stored offline on the secure chip inside the card. Ruby says, I bought them a couple days ago because of you. I'm waiting for them to arrive. Awesome. I'm excited for you. Frank says, okay, so what are you to do if someone stole your card and also give it a try and it locks? Can you reset your card, or you need new cards? Well, if someone steals your card and they are trying to access it, that doesn't affect your other cards. They just won't be able to access the card that they stole. You can still continue to use your other cards as normal. Chung King Express says, Tangem Rule, so easy to use, very good UX. I 100% agree. Are you able to add a seed phrase to a 2-pack and a ring set once the account has already been established, or do you need to set up a new account? Thank you in advance. So it sounds like you already set up your Tangem wallet without a seed phrase, and you basically want to restart and add a seed phrase. If you want to do that, there is a way you can do that. You have to factory reset the cards, but you have to do it the right way. Otherwise, you could lose all your crypto if you already have crypto on your wallet. Basically, you just need to send your crypto out of your current Tangem wallet temporarily, reset the cards, and then set them up again with the seed phrase. If you want a visual to see exactly how to do that process, just go to YouTube, type in missed seed phrase Tangem wallet, and my video will pop up, and then the thumbnail will say missed seed phrase. You want to watch that video. Ford says you should make a video on recovering a wallet with the seed phrase. Yeah, for sure. I can definitely do that. It is extremely straightforward though. You literally, when you set up a wallet, during the setup process, wallets always ask you the same thing. Are you creating a new wallet or are you recovering a wallet? You would choose the recovery option and then you enter your seed phrase, and it's that easy. Can I buy 3 ring wallets and use all 3 rings to make one wallet? Absolutely, you can do that. If you did that, you would actually have, you could do it a lot of ways, but because the rings also come with the cards, you would have a bunch of wallets. So yeah, you could set up the 3 rings just as one wallet with their own seed phrase or however you want to do it. But then you would also have 6 cards, which would be technically another 3 wallets. So if you bought, right, yeah, if you bought 3 Tangem rings, you technically have one, two, three, four cold wallets that you can make from that. Let's see. The seed phrase, if created on the mobile device and it's visible. So if a phone is already compromised with a recorder, someone can see your seed phrase while you're creating it. Nope. 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 Tangem, the app is created in a way that keeps it completely isolated, even if your phone is compromised. I demonstrated this in my video. If you just type in on YouTube, Tangem wallet, no screen. So I actually recorded my screen and took a screenshot while I was setting up my seed phrase. If you go and play back that video or look at the screenshot, it's completely blank. That's just one example of the security features that the Tangem app has. So that for the brief moment that your seed phrase is displayed on screen, no one's able to view it except for you staring at your phone. Glass conference. I already answered this question. I know you sent me a super chat, and I went into my story already. I'm not sure if you missed it, but maybe I'm just behind on chat. But I already went through that story, so hopefully you heard it. Oh yeah, you did. You definitely did hear it. Okay. Why not use an EliPal hardware card wallet? The seed phrase is created outside the mobile device on a separate hardware device, because I don't recommend and I don't use EliPal anymore. It's not a company I recommend. They lied straight to my face in an attempt to sell their wallets. Their marketing is deceiving, in my opinion, along with some other weird things. They've spammed my videos with like spam bots and weird stuff. Just not a company that I want to be associated with anymore. And it's not a company that I feel comfortable recommending their products anymore. That's why. Already answered that question. Not related, but what is the best way to give access to your crypto when you pass away? So I actually made a video on this. If you type it on YouTube, how to pass on your crypto when you die, I think that should pop up my video. But really the best way is to, depending on if your family knows about crypto or not, you'd really want in your will or whatever it is, you'd want step-by-step instructions for setting up or for accessing your crypto using a seed phrase. Obviously, you need to leave behind your seed phrase and tell them where to access the seed phrase. But the best thing you can do now is actually teach the people that you plan to pass your crypto onto, teach them how the technology works now. That way, they're not caught off guard in the future. Slide X says, I got a second Tangem now. I installed it, but Tether doesn't have BEP20 anymore. I can only find other chains. Do you know why? I don't know why, honestly. I'm not sure. Not sure. Laris says, aren't the 3 cards a set? Didn't know you can split these 6 cards into 3 sets. Nice. Yeah, so you have to understand, like, the set, that's just how Tangem sells them. The way the app actually works is it only requires 2 cards to set up a wallet. You could buy 100 different boxes, mix all the boxes together, and then just pick up 2 random cards, and you'll be able to set them up into one wallet. So again, the deal that's going on right now with Tangem, which is one of the best deals they've ever had, is you can buy. Let me do this one right here. If you get the buy one get the second one, it says 50% off, but the link in the description will apply my 10% off code, so it's actually 60% off. But yeah, this allows you to choose like different styles of cards. They all work the same; they're just different designs. But this is 6 cards. You only need 2 cards to set up one wallet. So with 6 cards, you have 3 cold wallets right here. Super cool. So one of the easiest ways to diversify your crypto. So you're literally getting 3 cold wallets for 97 bucks, which is cheaper than most cold wallets on the market today. So yeah, this deal goes until, it says November 6th. I was told November 7th. So you have at least 7 days to take advantage of this deal, and it is down in the description of this live stream. But yeah, it is super cool that it works that way. Let's see. I sent some Bitcoin to a Trezor Bitcoin address in 2 transactions. Some of the second larger transaction did not get there. Trezor says it got sent to a change address. How can I recover that part? Let me read this again. Some of the second larger transactions did not get there. Trezor says it got sent to a change address. I've never experienced that. I'm not sure I can provide any assistance on that. Has it been confirmed on the blockchain already? Like, is a transaction final, or is it still processing? That'd be my question. I'm just waiting for Tangem to fix that mild exploit, the one that Ledger security guys found weeks ago. Then I want to order that awesome ring. Probably not going to happen. It's not really, I don't think, anything that they're necessarily concerned about. I'm sure if they ever create a new product, it will be addressed. But while it, like you said, it is a mild exploit, it's not realistic because that exploit used a PIN. So if you set up the access code with a 4 to 8 digit PIN, and someone got physical access to your cards and had the tools to try to guess your PIN, then they could do it within a couple days. But again, Tangem doesn't tell you to set up a PIN. It's not a PIN that you set up. It's a password. If you set up a random password, it's going to be impossible to do that. So yeah, not really a concern, but to each their own. Thanks for all your information. Absolutely happy to help. No staking on ETH on Tangem. Nope, not yet. You're welcome. You're welcome. Can I earn yield on XRP without moving my tokens off of Tangem? Not that I know of. They don't offer any kind of anything reward-wise for XRP. Georgie says, does the government know how much I have in my Tangem wallet? So the government doesn't know that necessarily, but you have to understand, Georgie, that the blockchain where crypto lives is a digital public ledger of transactions. So the government can go and see how much crypto everyone owns. The next step would be associating a specific crypto address with an individual. That's the hard part, but there are ways to do it by seeing what crypto exchanges your wallet address interacts with. So if they really wanted to, it's possible. But in terms of like, does Tangem or anyone give them access or have that data? They don't. So yeah, and no one can access your wallet. You have the keys to your wallet, so it's not like they can just steal your crypto. But I think if the government really wanted to figure out how much money you have in your wallet, they could easily do it. Especially if you're leaving a trail. Like if you use a centralized exchange like Coinbase to buy crypto and then you send it to your Tangem wallet, then absolutely, super easy to find. Let's see. If I receive crypto to a cold wallet address and later on send that crypto out again, can the key somehow be compromised because a send and receive was performed on the same wallet address? Nope. Artman says, hit the likes, people. That's the least you can do. I appreciate that. James says, I just bought the special. What are duties and more taxes to pay FedEx? Fed up. I don't know. Like I said, I've ordered 8 Tangem wallets. I've never paid any duties or taxes to FedEx. I've never received anything about that. If you do receive something about that, reach out to Tangem and they'll take care of it for you. Let's see. Crypto Roger says buying and holding crypto is not a taxable event. Exactly. Let's see. Don says that he just factory reset his Tangem wallet and followed my offline setup tutorial. Great video, good work. Awesome. I'm glad you got that done safely. Georgie says, can you use multiple wallets with one device? Yeah, you can. If you're asking if you can use multiple Tangem wallets with your single phone, there's no limit to how many cards you can set up and manage in your one Tangem app. If you wanted 50 different Tangem wallets, all with their own seed phrase, you could do that on your one phone in your one app, and it's super convenient. Someone said to freestyle. Are you talking about the piano or like a rap? I guess I could do both, right? Brian says, so the 97 deal is 2 cards, 3 wallets, or yeah, just look at the website, Brian. It's 6 cards. That's what you're getting for $97. It's 6 cards. That's the easiest way to explain it. You're getting 6 cards. Forget about the sets, forget about all that. You get 6 cards. With 6 cards, you can create 3 wallets. You only need 2 cards to set up 1 wallet. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I know it's confusing because of how they have it set up, but don't think of it in sets or anything like that. Again, you just have to look at how the app actually works. It requires 2 cards to set up 1 wallet. So by getting this buy one get one 60% off deal and getting 6 cards, you essentially have 3 wallets if that's how you want to set it up. Good day. In the Xamin wallet, there's an extra security where you can use a Tangem card. Do you have an idea if it's the same cards for Tangem wallet? So that's a completely separate company that just like uses Tangem cards. I don't know. I don't recommend them. I've never used them. I stick with Tangem cards from Tangem's website. When multiple addresses, we don't have a date yet. Billion Dollar Journey says, can I use both iPhone and Android Tangem card? And if phone is lost, can I access it on my new phone? Yes. Tangem works with both iOS and Android phones as long as they have full NFC, which most phones in the last 8 years have NFC. As far as accessing your Tangem cards on a new phone, it's super easy. You would just download the app, then you open the app, then you scan any one of your cards. It'll ask you to enter your access code. You enter your access code, and then you're back in. Super easy. Can you stake crypto if you set it up for offline? I don't know what you mean. You can't set up crypto offline, and you can't use any wallet offline. All cold wallets have to interact with the internet to do crypto transactions. So. Tony says, would you cash out some crypto by selling within Tangem app or transfer to the exchange first? I always transfer to the exchange. They have better rates. I sell crypto pretty often, and I never sell it in Tangem. I have before until I found out the rates were a little higher. So I always send it to the exchange. For me, because I've been doing it for a long time, it doesn't take any extra effort or time. I can literally send crypto from my Tangem wallet to the exchange, sell the crypto on the exchange, and withdraw to my bank account within a few minutes. And if you do it early enough in the day, like on Kraken before 2 p.m. Eastern time, the money will actually arrive in your bank account the same day. Is there a decentralized app for buying crypto? Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of decentralized apps, and it depends on what blockchain you're on. There's Uniswap for Ethereum. There's Jupiter for Solana. There's Pawn0x for Ethereum and Solana. But you have to understand, you have to have crypto first to buy on a decentralized exchange. You can't use like a debit card on a decentralized exchange or anything like that. You have to have crypto in your self-custodial wallet connected to the exchange and then do the buy there. How do you specify the node the wallet uses for Bitcoin transactions? You can't specify the node. You can choose what kind of address you use. In Tangem, you can use the legacy or the yeah, you can use a legacy address, or you can use the default address, which is SegWit. AJ says, Skrilla, this is the best place to learn. You explain very well. I like how you started true American way, blood, sweat, and tears. You were meant to do this. Thanks for teaching us the right way. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate you saying that. 352 Lambo says, I don't like KYC and crypto at the moment. Takes half my money. Yep, that's centralized exchanges for you. Gary says, my Tangem got hacked through unlimited permissions that were left over from the DeFi transactions. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a common user error. That's why you don't sign crypto transactions on third-party websites using your main cold storage wallet. I literally talk about this every day. Your wallet is only as secure as a user. I'm sorry that happened to you, but yeah, I mean, I've talked about this in several videos on the channel. You need to use the cold wallet correctly for it to work how it's intended to be used. Jeff says, what does a memo mean from Robinhood to Tangem? Where do you put the memo? So when you're sending crypto from an exchange like Robinhood to a cold self-custodial wallet like Tangem, you don't need a memo. I don't know why it's there. It's just a default option. You don't put anything when sending to your cold wallet. If it requires you to put something, just put like a 0 or a couple zeros. You only need a memo or a tag when sending back to the exchange, because the exchange needs that identifier to get that crypto into your account. Whereas when you're sending to your cold wallet, your receiving address is the identifier. You don't need a memo when sending to Tangem. Jack says he owns 7 Tangem wallets. I thought I was nuts. Thanks for sharing. So yeah, you're right there with me. I'd be curious to know how you utilize your 7 wallets, if that's something you want to share. I've noticed a couple of times when logging into Tangem, some of my balances would say 0, then I refresh, the balances reappear. Had this ever happened to you? Yeah, this happens on really any wallet. You have to understand that that doesn't have anything to do with the actual crypto on your on the blockchain. That's simply the APIs having some kind of brain fart, just not communicating what the blockchain is displaying. It's just a user interface. Sometimes the interface it lags, but just because it shows 0 balance, even though that's scary, it doesn't mean anything has changed on the actual blockchain where your crypto lives. You can always check if your wallet has crypto in it by checking the blockchain. The blockchain is the truth when it comes to crypto. Yeah, you're just interacting with interfaces that tend to lag. Georgie says, do you trust buying from Amazon? I've never and never will buy a cold wallet from Amazon or any third party. There have been many cases of people receiving compromised wallets. Now, fortunately, there are ways to, like with Tangem, when you set up the wallet, it verifies the firmware is authentic during the setup process. But yeah, I don't, it's not worth the risk for me. That said, you also don't get like these crazy deals usually that are on the manufacturer's website. You don't get those on the third-party websites. Jack says, what if Tangem disappears and I didn't do a seed phrase? Again, the Tangem app is 100% open source, so it can always be accessed because the code is public. Also, the app won't magically disappear from your phone if the company shuts down. And its core functions, sending and receiving crypto, don't rely on Tangem or their servers. Those functions will always rely on the blockchain, so you'll still be able to send and receive crypto. Zora says, one of the exchanges I use when attempting to send to a cold wallet seem to ask first transferring the crypto to the wallet of the exchange, hence my question earlier. It might ask you that, but it doesn't require that. They just want you to use their products. You shouldn't have to do that. Like Coinbase to Coinbase wallet and then your cold wallet, absolutely not. Completely unnecessary. 352 Lambo says, don't confuse your rings. If you get multiple rings, should have custom colors like cards. I'm sure they'll come out with different colored rings in the future. Where were we here? Can you talk about decent wallet and why closed source is concerned? What do you mean by backdoor? So yeah, the reason I don't recommend decent is because the entire wallet is closed source, which means the code and everything they use and how the wallet functions is kept private by the company. So if they wanted to implement something like a backdoor that maybe shared your seed phrase with them or something like that, no one would ever know that because no one has access to the code that explains that's how the wallet works. So when you use something that's completely closed source, you're trusting the company versus being able to verify the claims. 352 Lambo says, "Can you cancel a transaction before the blockchain finishes processing?" Um, yeah, you can, but it kind of depends on the blockchain and what wallet you're using. Like I've done that through MetaMask before. Uhu4677 says, "Why would you even use a Tangem card? You can only blind sign with it, and it makes it super unsafe." So with Tangem, the when you transact, you can actually see all the transaction details on your screen on the Tangem app screen. Um, it also has like an offline feature that actually creates the transaction offline and shows you what you're actually confirming before you confirm the real transaction, which is something new they recently added. Um, and you say it makes it super unsafe, but you don't actually have any data or proof to back that. Whereas I have proof and data to back that it is safe. And my proof and data is that 6 million cards have been produced over the last 9 years and not a single one has been hacked. So where's the data showing that Tangem isn't safe? That's what I want to know. If you could provide that, then maybe I'd reconsider. But um, there's nothing that leads me to believe that's the truth. So Daniel says, "Can I use one card or wallet for two iPhones?" So when you set up your Tangem wallet, once you have it set up, you can use it on as many phones as you want. Yes. Ken, I've already answered this question multiple or at least one time. Again, Tangem uses third-party exchanges. Sometimes exchanges don't support swapping certain cryptocurrencies. That's the case across all crypto exchanges. If that's the case for you through Tangem, then you'll have to find another crypto exchange to use. Thanks for your reply. So someone mentioned earlier that if you're talking about the unspent Bitcoin, that is an unspent transaction, that it should just reappear in your wallet, in the Trezor wallet. So maybe try adding, um, see if there's like any other addresses that aren't showing in your Trezor Suite app for Bitcoin. See if there's any that you could like add that where maybe that Bitcoin is sitting, if that makes sense. Moody says, "Have you noticed something odd adding USDT and BSC network in new wallets?" Again, I don't use the BSC network for in my Tangent wallet, but I can look right now. I mean, yeah, it's not listed as an option under USDT, so I don't know. Was it before? I guess I never used it, so I don't know. Uh, Uphold has instant withdrawal to your bank account in seconds. That's pretty cool. I bet they charge a fee for that. I'd be curious to know if they do. Can I swap Tangem into my native wallet? Can I swap Tangem into my native wallet? I don't know what you mean, Craig. I'm sorry. What do you think about the quantum threat? If we have a computer in the next 5 years, what will happen to Bitcoin, especially to the lost coins or the ones that belong to Satoshi? So experts are predicting that like the quantum threat is, if it is close, like it's the closest it is 10 years out, um, up to 80 years out. So it's not an immediate threat. As far as what I think about quantum computing being a threat, I think crypto, at least at this point, would be the least of our worries. If quantum computing gets to a point where it could compromise the Bitcoin network and other blockchain networks, that means that it can compromise other industries like the military, industrial complex, the other financial systems, healthcare, basically everything. So we'd have a much larger issue at hand. The entire internet would be at risk. Um, so yeah, crypto is just one small, sector of all this. Andrew says, I'm new to cold wallets, had no clue which one to get. I bought Tangem from your recommendation. Thanks a million. Absolutely. Can I transfer from Robinhood to a cold wallet? Yes, you can. Just copy the receiving address from your Tangem wallet. Go back into Robinhood, hit send, paste your receiving address, and confirm the transaction. Peace and prosperity to Skrilla and chat. We used to call money Skrilla in the 80s, Los Angeles. Well, that's where the name came from. My friends called it Skrilla when we were kids. And so, yeah, it's literally, the channel is digital money, cyber Skrilla. So it's funny that you know that. I wasn't an 80s kid, though. I was, at that point, I'm a 90s kid. So we were calling it Skrilla probably like mid 2000s. Answering your question, I have 7 wallets. One wallet is where I bring all my purchases from exchanges, and the other 6 I hold. I don't know if you finished your comment there. Double Sandburger, does Tangem have the option to create a passphrase? Yes, you can create a passphrase. I've gone through this a couple times. Process is a little different. Basically, you create the Tangem wallet with the seed phrase. Once you set it up, you factory reset the wallet. Then you set it up again by importing your seed phrase. And in the import section, below the seed phrase field, there is a passphrase option. You would just enter whatever you want your passphrase to be along with your seed phrase, and that will create your passphrase wallet. Should I switch from Ledger to the new Trezor? That quantum stuff is attractive. If your only reason for switching would be because of the quantum thing, absolutely not. The quantum, it's not quantum proof. It is quantum ready. That's not even in anything you need to worry about today. It's really just a marketing thing. No wallet can be quantum proof because all wallets do is implement the blockchain technology that all our crypto operates on. So no wallet will protect you if the network is compromised. So you have to understand that Trezor is just saying if technology ever comes out that like quantum proof networks, then they will be able to implement that technology. That's all that means. But I think we have a long time before we see that. Kevin says, I think Decent's wallet is on GitHub. Does that not matter? Decent is on GitHub. Their code is not open source, though. It's not on GitHub. They have an account on GitHub, but the code isn't there. Okay. Not sure if I should ditch them, considering how many coins they. Again, I mean, the risk is yours. I don't feel comfortable using a wallet that's 100% closed source. The reason you see so many people recommend it is because Decent pays people just to make videos. Not even the affiliate commission part, which is how I make money for this channel. Like when you use my link, I get a small commission. I'm saying that Decent actually pays people to literally just post videos about their products, which is why you see people talk about it. Dan says, I'm keeping 3 Tangem wallets for my wife and I, one for my wife's nieces and nephews, and one for my nieces and nephews. Dang, that's super cool. Hopefully, Dan, you're showing them how to maybe how to use those wallets too, or at least when they're old enough. That way they can, securely manage their crypto as well. But that's super cool. Jack says, answering your question, I have 7 Tangem wallets. One acts as my main receiver from the exchange. From that receiving wallet, I distribute my Bitcoin, so it's not all held on one card. I understand, but Jack, that you don't need to do that. Just to let you know, all you're doing is wasting money on fees. There's no reason to send your crypto from the exchange to one cold wallet and then to another. That doesn't do anything for privacy or for security. You're literally just doing one extra transaction that's costing you one extra fee. I just want you to know that. But I am glad to hear you're diversifying your crypto. That's super smart. Yes, it's minimal fee for getting cash quick. You're talking about Uphold. That's cool, but I don't necessarily ever need instant access to my cash. I'm okay waiting 24 hours if I have to. I'm not in a hurry. Let's see. Talking to you, teach me how to Doge. I think you are one time right and wrong. It's good to buy a good closed source wallet like a Ledger, but not the weird quality. So Ledger is not closed source, by the way. It's 95% open source. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's all I got from that. Let's see. I persuaded my younger brother to go half on Tangem's new BOGO deal since I already have the Tangem ring. I plan to use a second wallet for my mom's XRP. Will it still be associated with my seed phrase? Super cool. Um, if you want it to be associated with your seed phrase, when you set up the new wallet, um, then you'll just import your seed phrase. Then it will be the exact same wallet. Remember, the seed phrase is the wallet. That's the key to your crypto. So if you wanted to manage the same crypto, then you'll just import your current seed phrase into the new set of cards, and it will be the same wallet essentially. Justice says, great job as always. Thank you. Could you explain why there seems to be a limit on the dollar amounts of various crypto that you're allowed to transfer to your cold wallet? Um, So I guess I don't know what you mean. I've never experienced that. If there are any limits, know that those come from these centralized exchanges. They can do that because they're centralized. When you're using a cold wallet, there's no limits. Like if you're ever sending crypto on a cold wallet, the cold wallet has no way of limiting how much you can send or how much you can store or anything like that because you are in full control. But yeah, exchanges can do whatever they want. Sunseeker says, what is a passphrase? A passphrase is an additional word or phrase you can add on top of your seed phrase, and it creates a completely separate hidden wallet with its own set of private keys and matching receiving addresses. So it literally allows you to create an unlimited number of wallets from your one seed phrase and have them all separately secure. Yep, that's true. What is the best way to onboard cash to a DEX? Georgia, you don't onboard cash to a DEX. DEXs don't, you can't do that. The only way you do it is you buy crypto on an exchange, or you can buy it directly in your cold wallet, and then you connect your wallet to the DEX, and you are transacting in crypto, not in cash. So you just need crypto in your wallet, and that's it. Dan says, I'm keeping 3 Tangem wallets with the sole purpose of eliminating the need for all or for a will between my wife's family and my family. I see. That's a cool way to do it. Nice. Jack, thanks. I didn't know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a common misconception that there needs to be some kind of middle wallet when you're sending from an exchange to your cold wallet. There doesn't do anything. What you do if there's a mechanical bug in the Tangem chip long-term seedless and they become unusable. Seed phrase has no point if seen on mobile device, even offline. That's why I prefer Trezor. Well, that's the risk of using your Tangem wallet without a seed phrase is you're relying solely on the cards, which is why I use a seed phrase option. As far as the seed phrase has no point if seen on mobile device, it does have a point. It allows you to write down your seed phrase. That's the point. Looks like Robinhood doesn't allow transfers in New York or Texas. Do you recommend selling from Robinhood and reducing? That's weird. It doesn't allow transfers. That doesn't even make any sense. Are you sure it doesn't allow transfers, or are you talking about something else? Because that seems I've never heard of that. But yeah, if you're trying to transfer it to your cold wallet and Robinhood doesn't let you, your only other option is to sell it, and then open another crypto exchange account and buy your crypto there or something like that. Can Tangem be used in dApps like OpenSea and other DEX in desktop? Yes, it can. So you go to the settings and then you in the Tangem app and you click Wallet Connect, and this will allow you to connect your Tangem wallet to dApps. But beware, You don't want to connect your main cold storage wallet to dApps because you risk signing a malicious transaction. So if your goal is to secure your crypto, make sure you're using two separate wallets, one to actually store it and one to interact with dApps. If you want to use two Tangem wallets to do that, one as your storage wallet and one as your DEX or your dApp wallet, that would be a good way to go about it. AJ says, just bought my 6-pack of Tangem. Thanks. Awesome, AJ. Let me know future live streams or on a comment on my video what you think about Tangem once you receive it. I'd be curious to hear your feedback. Teach me how to Doge. Are there any plans to add bookmark feature for trusted wallet addresses in the Tangem app? I don't know. I'm not Tangem. I'm not, I know just about as much as you know, because anytime I learn something new about Tangem, I instantly share it with you guys. It's a possibility though. So yeah. That said, if anyone is watching, Tangem is having a sale right now until November 7th. It's buy one, get one 60% off. If you just use a link in the description of this live stream, it'll take you directly to the sale and it'll apply everything automatically. I know it says the second set is 50% off, but my link gets you the additional 10% off, which makes it 60% off. With this deal, you're getting 6 cards, which allows you to create 3 separate cold wallets. You only need 2 cards to set up one wallet. So with 6 cards, this literally allows you to have 3 cold wallets for only $97. And that you can manage all of these cards in a single Tangem app. When you choose this, if you choose this sale, you can switch, the design of cards that you want, which is super cool. My favorite design is the stealth one, which is this right here. It's the one here on the left. It comes with 2 blank cards. And then you can choose from their limited edition designs. I like the Bitcoin one, even though it's kind of loud. But yeah, one of the best deals they've ever offered. Or they have the Tangem ring, works exactly like the cards and also comes with 2 cards. It's the most discreet wallet on the market, also the most durable. It's 25% off right now, plus free shipping using that link in the description. Or if you just want to try a set out, you can get a 3-card set or a 2-card set for 10% off using that same link. Also, there's a user guide in the description of this live stream. If you're new to Tangem Wallets, in that user guide, it's a video. Just go and watch it. I walk you through exactly how to set up your Tangem Wallet step by step in real time, nice and slow. It's not like all highly edited. It's just real time, me setting up my Tangem Wallet and giving my tips. I also show you in that video how to send crypto from an exchange to your Tangem Wallet and how to send crypto from your Tangem Wallet back to the exchange if you ever need to do that. So if you're hesitant to start using a cold wallet to secure your crypto, which it's almost 2026, everyone should be using a cold wallet by now. But if you have been hesitant to start because you think it's confusing, go and watch that video because it's really simple. Tangem is the best cold wallet for beginners. Anyone can do it. I always say if you can microwave a Hot Pocket, then you can use a Tangem wallet. So. Will says, don't know if you have spoke about this. I have a new phone and can't access my wallet. I tried scanning the card, but I can't access my wallet. I would need a little more info than that. Like what's going on when you try to scan it? Does it recognize the card at all? Does your new phone have NFC? There's a lot of questions that need answered there. But assuming your phone is in good working order and the cards work on your old phone, then it should work. There's no reason that it doesn't work because I have my Tangem wallets. I access them on 3 different phones without issues. 2 are an iPhone, another one is an Android. They work the same on all the phones. So yeah, I'd be curious if it's something with your phone maybe. Sounds like it could be. But definitely if you want to provide more info, I might be able to answer. I meant that having a seed phrase on a mobile screen without a separate device like Ledger or Trezor exposes a potential spyware on the device. I mean, it doesn't though. So the Tangem app is designed to be completely isolated from any other software on your mobile device. It also has features built in or disabled that prevents spyware from being able to see any private important information like that while it's displayed on screen. I showed an example of this in real time. I screen recorded my Tangem app while I was setting up the seed phrase. You can go watch the video on YouTube if you type in Tangem Wallet no screen. But I screen recorded my seed phrase and I took a screenshot of it while it was displayed. If you go and play back the recording, and if you look at the photo, they're both blank. And that's just one example of how the Tangem app keeps your seed phrase secure for the brief moment that it is displayed on screen. But the seed phrase is not stored locally in the Tangem app or on your phone. Before the setup process is even complete, it's transferred to your cards where it remains offline indefinitely. Also, signing transactions on Tangem is riskier, you said. That hasn't proven to be the case. There's nothing that has proven that to be true. So that's all just theory at this point. Tangem, again, they've been around for 8-9 years, 6 million cards sold, not a single one compromised. So that's all the proof that you need. Flying O says, I have 2 Tangem wallets and planning to get this 6-card deal. Awesome. I see you're on Twitter. I forgot to link the deal over on Twitter so that you get the full 60% off, because if you just go to the website, you'll only get 50% off. So let me see. Flying O, if I can go to my Twitter real quick, and I can post that in the chat here for you. I just posted it right now. If you need that link, it's in the chat on Twitter, in the comment section. If you want to take advantage of that deal. But heck yeah, it's a good deal. It really is. Is it possible to get 6 black cards or stealth or the family pack? It's not the way they set it up. And the reason I think they did this is because they're probably trying to sell through their limited edition cards, because they still have them left over, which is why they're probably running this sale. It's good for us because we get the huge discount, but you are limited as to what designs you can actually walk away with. It has a convenience for traveling in similar situation, but for majority of assets, I'd rather go with seed phrase that is generated on Ledger or Trezor. Of course, that's your own personal choice, and that's fine. If that's what you feel comfortable doing, then more power to you. Shadow Crypto says, I have 4 Tangem, 3 Decent. I split amounts into 3 wallets, and the 4th is for DeFi. The Decent is the same with the 3rd is DeFi. That way I don't sign anything with my Prime wallets. Super, super smart. I mean, you're doing it right, Shadow Crypto. The only critique I'd give you and what I would change is I would never use a Decent wallet. But that's just my personal opinion and how I feel about Decent. It sounds like you're doing everything right. So good job. That's okay. Already went through that. Question: I bought Tangem through you. How do I transfer from Coinbase to Kraken? I'm trying to learn, but I have a head injury. Prayer minister. Wish I could buy 30. Yeah, I'm sorry about your head injury. Hopefully, I don't know if it's something that can be healed, but I do hope that you get better. As far as how to transfer from Coinbase to Kraken, it's the same way you transfer crypto anywhere. You copy the receiving address from Kraken, you go over to Coinbase, you hit send, you paste the receiving address, and then you confirm the send. That's really how you do it when you're transferring crypto anywhere. I would be curious to know why you're transferring from Coinbase to Kraken when you could just transfer from Coinbase straight to your Tangem wallet. That's what I would do. Because if you're going to transfer from Coinbase to Kraken and then Kraken to Tangem, you're just wasting money on extra fees. How would you utilize multiple wallets and diversify, buy and sell, trading versus storing crypto? So I use all my cold wallets for storage. I don't use them. If I'm interacting with decentralized applications, I just use a hot wallet. That's just how I do it. So all of my Tangem wallets, they're all for storage. If I want to buy and sell, I just send it to the crypto exchange and I buy and sell there. Why use more than one Tangem? You could use Trezor or Ledger to diversify. You can do it however you want. There's no right or wrong way to use different wallets to diversify your crypto. Why do it with Tangem? Because it's the most convenient way to diversify your crypto. It's easier than Trezor. It's easier than Ledger. You can have 50 different Tangem wallets, all managed under one Tangem app and all secured by their own key. That's why I do it, because it is currently the most convenient way to diversify crypto. If you want to use different wallets, then you can use different wallets. Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe the new phone doesn't have NFC. That's possible. Andrew says, after setting up the 3 wallets, where should we keep them to ensure they're safe and won't get lost? I can't really answer that for you. It just really depends on your at-home situation and where you consider a secure spot. Like maybe you have an at-home safe that you could keep them in. If you don't, maybe you could buy one. Probably somewhere locked away that is designated where you know for sure when you access that location, your cards are going to be there. That would be the best place. Flying O says, my first transfer try of a tiny amount failed. I'm guessing it was the chain network choice mistake. Possibly, yeah. I mean, depending on where you're sending the crypto from, Flying O, like usually when you're sending from a crypto exchange to a cold wallet, if you try to enter an address on the wrong network, it won't let you send it. But I would need a little more info. Like a lot of mistakes people make when sending crypto to Tangem for the first time is they, like a lot of the network, like even certain coins that are available on different networks, they still share the same address. But the only way to actually see them in your Tangem wallet is to enable the right network that you sent it on. So like if you send ETH on a different network, like you could just try enabling all the networks for ETH in your Tangem wallet, and you might see that it appears because you just sent it on the wrong network. But that's just one example. Let's see. On Coinbase, I have been transferring USD and USDC to bank to pay bill. It looks as if I owe taxes. Are both taxable when I transfer to bank? It feels like a robbery. Okay, so anytime you dispose of an asset, that is a taxable event. So if you are swapping USDC into fiat, that is technically a taxable event. So you'll probably get some kind of tax form from Coinbase, but you have to understand you only owe taxes if you make money. You're not making money with a stable coin because it's pegged to the US dollar. So if you had $100 of USDC and then you sell it for $100 of fiat, there's no profit there. So you're not actually going to owe any taxes, even though you might still technically supposed to report those transactions. You're not going to actually owe anything. Gary says, thanks for your training. Absolutely. Ewar says, if you have too many wallets, you might lose one. I mean, that's the case for anything in life. You just have to be more organized. Flying O, you're welcome. You're welcome. Ford says it shouldn't be taxable if there's no profit. Exactly. Only when you sell that asset, if you made money, would you owe money. If you lost money, then you can actually use the loss to offset any gains. But I'm also not a tax advisor, so if you have any real questions about taxes, you should probably reach out to one. Flying O says not seeing the full chat on Twitter. Flying O, I didn't put it in a chat. I put it in the comments section of the live stream. Let me see. Let me see if I can show you. I'll show you exactly where I put it. So I put it, here's the live stream. If you just go to the comments section, I put it right down here. So this Cyber Skrilla short link, that'll take you directly to Tangem's website, and it will apply all the discounts automatically. And if you want to check out the user guide, which it sounds like you might already know how to use Tangem, but I dropped it here just in case you needed that. But this link right here is the one that will get you the deal. And again, that's in the comments section. Forever Realm, you're absolutely welcome. Happy to help. Have you tried the Ballet cold storage? I don't like them anymore because they don't support enough tokens and seem full of empty promises. I haven't tried them, no. Forever Realm with the super sticker. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Very kind. James says, can you import transactions from Tangem to Coinly? Yes. Remember, your transactions aren't being imported from Tangem or from Ledger or anything. They're all recorded on the blockchain. All you're doing is telling Coinly what crypto address on the blockchain to pull those transactions from. So that's just getting technical. Yeah, flying. Oh, from Coinbase to Tangem. So usually Coinbase wouldn't let you send the crypto if the address wasn't the right format of address. So depending on what crypto you send, try going into your Tangem wallet and enabling all the networks for that crypto and see if it shows up in your Tangem wallet, because it might be sitting there on another one of those networks and you just don't know it. Let me know if that makes sense. Would you use a seed phrase for all cold wallets when creating, or all seed phrases self-generated? Yes, I would use a seed phrase for all cold wallets. Most cold wallets only allow you to use a seed phrase. Tangem is one of the only seedless wallets, with a few other exceptions like Rider One. But seed phrases are all seed phrases are randomly generated from the cold wallet, and all seed phrases are derived from the BIP 39 word list, which is a list of like 2,000 and I think 48 words. You can look it up on Google. All seed phrases are derived from this list, completely and randomly derived. Can I send Solgenics from Uphold to my Ledger Nano S on BNB chain? I don't know, because you would need to go to Ledger's website, then go to there's coin support tab. If Ledger supports Sologenics on the BNB chain, then yes, you'll be able to do that. Do you think having a seed phrase offline while passphrase online only is a good way to diversify physical and online risk? Or is it better to expose both to physical risk only on? Absolutely don't put anything online. No seed phrases, no passphrase. Don't store any of that online. Is a seed phrase specific for each wallet? When setting up the Tangem, do we use the exchange seed phrase or create a new one through Tangem setup? Okay, Andrew, when you have your crypto on an exchange, you don't have a seed phrase. That's why you want to get it off an exchange. The exchange has the seed phrase. They're the ones that own your crypto. So yeah, when you set up your Tangem wallet, you need to create your own seed phrase. So Tangem will do that for you. Then you record that seed phrase, and that's what you're going to want to keep secure and never share with anyone. Flying O, okay, cool. Glad that link worked for you. Jack says, do I really need a seed phrase on Tangem? That's a personal choice. I like to have the seed phrase because, again, I don't want to rely solely on the technology to access my crypto. If for some insane reason I lost all three of my cards or they all got damaged, I wouldn't be able to access my crypto. So by having my seed phrase stored in a metal seed phrase plate, it's another backup that I have. So yeah, but if you're just joining, again, buy one, get one, 60% off Tangem is in the description of this live stream. It's one of the best deals of the year. So you get 6 cards for $97. With which 6 cards, that allows you to set up 3 separate cold wallets in your Tangem app, which is great for you diversifying your crypto. And you can manage all that in the one app. Again, you can choose different designs if you prefer a design. And that link is in the description. It says 50% off, but my link gets you the additional Cyber Skrill at 10% off. Also, that it comes with free shipping. And the Tangem ring is also 25% off using my link with free shipping. The ring comes with the ring, obviously, and 2 cards. Or if you just want a 3-card set, the normal standard 3-card set, that's 10% off with the link. Or you can get a 2-card set, that's 10% off as well. Let's see. 352 Lambo says, is it true if I spend my crypto like money on something like Tangent Pay, I won't have to pay taxes if I use a stable coin for spending? Yes, technically, because again, you only owe taxes if when you dispose of your asset that you made money. So if you bought $100 worth of USDC and then you bought something that cost $100 and you spent that 100 USDC, you wouldn't owe any taxes on it. Now, if you paid for something like a meme coin, right? Let's say you bought a meme coin for $100, that meme coin eventually went up to $200, and then you bought something using that $200, you did make $100 in profit, so you would technically owe taxes on that $100 in profit. YK Melly says, outside of Ledger and Tangem, what would you recommend to store larger amounts of crypto long term? In terms of my favorite cold wallets, Ledger, Tangem, Trezor, and OneKey are some of my favorite cold wallets. So that's what I use. Flying O, switch to YouTube. I'll find the link. Okay, let me know if you find it. What other cold storage would you recommend besides Tangem that is user-friendly? Probably the Ledger Gen 5, which is Ledger's newest Nano model. So this works with both your phone and desktop device. So you can manage your crypto on your phone and your computer with the security of this wallet. You can also set it up on both devices. You can do firmware updates. And what I like about Ledger, specifically their touchscreen models, is it walks you through the entire setup process on screen, step by step. It's super nice. So yeah, I would say Ledger. Any other touchscreen models are super friendly, but if you want the most affordable entry-level option that offers the same security as their most premium model, the Ledger Nano Gen 5 is a really good one. Are these the Visa-enabled cards or strictly cold? These are not Visa cards or debit cards. They're strictly cold wallets for securing your crypto. I have not had a drink we've been live for 3 hours. I haven't had a single sip. I think I've shaken this thing like 5 times now. Got to get my BCAs in. Andrew says, so does each card act as a separate wallet, or do they all hold the same crypto when I transfer? Okay, remember, crypto isn't stored in wallets or exchanges. Crypto only lives on the blockchain. All these wallets all any wallet does, they hold the keys that are used to manage and access your crypto on the blockchain. So the reason cold wallets are secure is because they hold your keys to your crypto offline in a secure environment. That said, when you set up your Tangem wallet, whether that's 2 or 3 cards, they all have the same key. So they all manage the same crypto. So they're basically all the same wallet. The cards are just used to sign transactions. So, when you're in your Tangem app and you want to transact or whatever, you can use any one of your cards to do that transaction because they all hold the same key. If you want separate wallets with their own seed phrase, you'll need to buy multiple cards, because you can set up one Tangem wallet with a single seed phrase using, you need a minimum of 2 cards. So if you did want separate seed phrases or separate wallets, you would need basically at least 4 cards. That'll allow you to create 2 separate seed phrases. Hopefully that made sense. Jack says, so if something happens to my Tangem app and I don't have a seed phrase, I can't access my crypto. That's not what I said. If something happens to Tangem and you don't have a seed phrase, the app will still function. The core functions will still work. You can still send and receive crypto. Speaking of metal seed phrase plates, which one do you recommend? And is it true that only the first 4 letters of each word of your seed phrase matters when accessing your crypto on the blockchain? That is true. So the one that I use, you can look up any one on Amazon. Just type in metal seed phrase plate on Amazon. There's a bunch of options. The one that I use is from Keystone. This is the Keystone Tablet Plus. The Tablet Plus holds a 24-word seed phrase or 2 12-word seed phrases. If you type in Keystone Tablet Plus on Google and then click on their website, it's like keystone.one.com or something. And if you enter the code Cyberskrilla, you'll get, I think it's like 8% off or something. But this is one that I use. It's 304 stainless steel. It's super thick. But again, you can go to Amazon if you don't want that one. Doesn't really matter. As far as needing the first 4 letters of the word for your seed phrase, that's true. Because if you have the first 4 letters of the word, you should be able to, know what the rest of the word is. And if you ever forget, you just look at the BIP 39 word list, because that's where all our seed phrases are derived from. Have a lot of you even seen the BIP 39 word list? I'd be curious if I don't think a lot of people even know that it exists. So I can show you what that looks like. If you're wondering where all our seed phrases come from, it comes from this massive list. And then I have another fun fact about this list. So this is the BIP 39 word list. Your 12 or 24 word recovery seed phrase or wallet backup most likely comes from the Bitcoin improvement proposal. So this is literally where all our seed phrases are derived from. The reason why seed phrases are so secure is because there is a total of 2,048 words in this list. So the possible number of combinations from all these words is, I mean, it's almost unlimited. It's like one with 100 zeros after it. It's an insanely large number, like just mind-boggling. So if you ever, needed to know what word your was in your seed phrase, just look at the first four letters, right? Because there's no first four letters that are repeating. So even if you just entered ABOV, you would come to this list and you'd be like ABOV, oh, okay, it's above. Or maybe if it was, the first four were SATO, you're like SATO, what is SATO? I don't remember what that means. You just come to this list, you could find SATO. Oh, okay, that's Satoshi. That's what the full word is. So that's how the BIP 39 word list is. And another fun fact about the word list is, and drop it in the chat if you know, who created the BIP, the Bitcoin improvement proposal. Who created it? Does anyone know who created the word list? Who literally invented seed phrases? I'm curious if anyone knows. No using ChatGPT or Google. This is literally where all our seed phrases come from. This whole list. Any guesses on who came up with this list? Okay, I'll tell you. It was Trezor, the Satoshi Labs who created the Trezor wallets. That's who came up with seed phrases. They are the OGs. Trezor was the first hardware wallet company to exist. So yeah, just some fun facts. Just a bunch of nerdy fun stuff that no one cares about. Robert says, can I transfer money from Tangem to my bank? Robert, just know that Tangem doesn't hold money. Tangem only allows you to manage crypto. That said, you can sell your crypto directly from the Tangem app using one of Tangem's third-party partners, but you're going to be selling it through the exchange, and then from there, you can withdraw to your bank account. So it's going to be the same as sending your crypto to an exchange, selling it, and withdrawing there. That's how it works. Let's see, Tangem. Regarding my new video, does this apply to any Tangems or does it apply only to the latest Tangem? So where you can set up your Tangem wallet offline, that should apply to any Tangem wallet that you use a seed phrase with. Yeah. There's only been two versions of the Tangem wallet, the Tangem 1.0 that didn't allow you to set up a seed phrase, and then the 2.0, which allow you to set up a seed phrase. Let's see, I deleted the Tangem app and reinstalled the app, and now I'm able to access my wallet. Awesome job. That's some good troubleshooting right there. That's usually what I recommend. So good job figuring that out. And thanks for sharing that, because now I know if someone else runs into that issue, that is what I'll recommend they do. So thank you. Have I got my hands on the Safe 7 yet? We'll love to see a review. So I did the first impressions video. So I just got a message today from Trezor, because the US government is shut down, they can't ship the Trezor Safe 7. So until that happens, I'm not going to get it. I was supposed to have it this week. It's pretty sad. I've not seen that list. Well, now you know it exists. Do you think Ledger is safe? A lot of people claim they lost their crypto by updating firmware, indicating Ledger as a backdoor. That's people claim a lot of things on the internet. It doesn't make it true. Ledger has never been hacked. Their wallets have never been hacked, I should say. They're one of the most reputable wallets on the market. the Ledger Donjon, which is their security team, is one of the best security teams in the crypto industry. A lot of other hardware wallet companies like Trezor, Coldcard, Tangem have relied on Ledger's security team to find vulnerabilities in their products. As far as people losing crypto by a firmware update from Ledger, that's complete BS. Jose said Brad Garlinghouse for was that the guy's name that actually created it? Let's see. Yeah, it wasn't Brad. It looks like there's a few people from Satoshi Labs and Trezor who pitched in on it. Clarence says, when I set up my Tangem wallet, I didn't see the option for a seed phrase. What did I do wrong? You missed the step, Clarence. They don't advertise the seed phrase. So when you first scan your card, it gives you two options. The first thing, it says create wallet, which is probably what you tapped. Below that, it says other options. So you're supposed to tap other options, and then there you would choose create seed phrase. If you want to redo the entire setup so that you have a seed phrase, you can do that. There's a process to do it. You basically need to reset the factory cards and then set them up again. If you want a guide on how to do this, just type in on YouTube, missed seed phrase Tangem wallet, and my video will pop up. The thumbnail, it's like a big blue thumbnail, says missed seed phrase and holding a Tangem wallet. That video shows you exactly what you need to do to get your wallet set up with a seed phrase again. That said, we've been going on for about 3.5 hours now. I got to go. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hope you all have a great day. God bless and peace.